Old Spice Swagger Holiday Pack, perfect for a gift to treat yourself. 24/7 holiday freshness with daily use can smell your bestest. I'm gonna be smelling great all season. Old Spice scents just can't be beaten. Chock full of value, saving that green. Got the essentials needed to feel clean. Deodorant, hair, body wash, and spray. Celebrate your holiday the Old Spice way. Ho, 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 ho.
Hey guys, it's C-Dot here to remind you to download the Odyssey app so you can listen to 96.5 wherever you are straight from your phone. You have the option to listen live, listen on demand throughout the day at your convenience, or you can listen to any of our original podcasts like Character Concerns and 249 Miles of College Football. Plus, if you're in Kansas City, you can listen to the play-by-play of the Chiefs game with Mitch Holtis, Dan Hughes, and our guy Kling. Download the free Odyssey app today and follow 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
This is the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for K-State athletics. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Welcome to it. Happy Tuesday. Today's the day Bob Fesco shines. Might be dark outside, but he is glowing in the inside.
I am. Nice little run this morning on a Tuesday. Get ready for later tonight, baby.
Sounded like Shannon Sharp in the morning. Sounds like Shannon Sharp in the evening.
Oh, you better believe it. You had better believe it. Tuesdays are a rock'em sock'em type of day. Guy we met in the parking lot the other day, Mac, asked me, is Tuesday real?
Yes. think I make these things up?
I said, it's as real as the day is long, Kyle.
To take a page out of Bob Fesco's book, I have sources that tell me Tuesdays are real.
Yeah. I'm sure there's one person that I know that probably told you that.
Rule number one is source. Don't give it away.
You never give away your source.
You can
never
guess all you want.
Right?
I won't say a thing.
Right. You talking to my neighbors again?
Yep. Malik.
Yep.
Boy, how about that game last night? Was
entertaining,
was
right?
that not an adrenaline rush? Guys, I was trying to go to bed.
I know. I was too, and you couldn't.
70-yarder, pick six, Bo Nix, Jameis Winston. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys this to start the show, okay?
Perfect Monday night game.
I don't know the answer to this question. Mm-hmm. How are we supposed to feel after that game? Because I always relate everything back to us, because it's our world and everybody else is just living in it at this point in time, right?
Another close game?
Another close game. That's a good one. All right, I like that.
They went on the road to Denver, which where the Chiefs will be in about 5 weeks.
Right. We're 68 days from the Super Bowl.
Oh, man. Whew. We are, 22 days from Christmas?
Yeah.
You boys shopped yet?
No.
Okay. You guys, but you probably already know, right? Like, you probably know what you're supposed to get every year. You're at that point in life.
We're at that point, though, but we don't exchange anything. We just do stuff throughout the year that we want. You want this, you want that.
What's your countdown to Hawaii? We got to start a clock for that.
The 24th is when we're leaving.
So he's 21 days away.
21 days, yeah. 3 weeks, yeah, absolutely. 3 weeks you sit through a timeshare.
Worth it.
It's gonna be great, man.
Yeah.
I will come back with a place in Branson.
You'll do the show from Branson.
Where are you? I kind of go to Branson for another 3 weeks to get my money's worth.
How come every hour of the show it says fire in the hole in the background? Little kids are popping the wooden cork guns in the background.
Has anybody ever gotten their money's worth out of one of these timeshares? Because you hear the commercials all the time, right? For a timeshare, like sell it now because you can't get out of it. Even when you're dead, you still have to pay on these things, apparently. So I'm glad my wife can say no. She's great at it, except on Tuesdays. But, but she's good at saying no for a lot of these things. So, because I'd be signing up for everything. Sure, where do I sign?
Well, Sean Connery says 3 no's equals 1 yes.
Okay.
It's a Family Guy skit. 3 no's equals 1 yes.
Which Sean Connery is better, Family Guy or Saturday Night Live, where he's doing Celebrity Jeopardy?
I guess we'll do that later, start, pinch, cut. You could do 3 different variations of Sean Connery. Like James Bond Connery.
Yeah.
The Rock Sean Connery.
Great movie.
Or Jeopardy Sean Connery.
The best. And how many of those does Mac understand?
Need the first one.
The James Bond one?
Yeah, had that. Yeah.
He is James Bond.
Yeah, that's. I was like, yeah.
Argument
over.
starting
Let's
that.
Pierce Brosnan may want to say something about that, but Sean Connery is James Bond. The Rock is one of the great movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It's about an island in San Francisco called Alcatraz. You ever hear of that one?
Yes, I heard of that one. Yeah, I'll put it on the list.
Yeah, there's actually like some James Bond ties into it as well. Because backstory, Sean Connery.
Spoiler!
Yeah. Terrorist organization takes over Alcatraz. There's only one man that knows how to get in and out of Alcatraz, and that is
James Bond.
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
That's
The
right.
Rock. It's about a wrestler. Yeah.
Losers go to the prom. Winners take home the prom queen.
He's dead, right? Sean
Yes.
Connery, we lost him.
And he is a sir.
Yes, he is a sir. Yeah, that is a cool thing to be. So that's why I wanted to, like, what are you taking away? I mean, close game's a good one.
I will say, I told both of you this separately. I think the number one takeaway I took at is that if Jameis Winston was the starter from day one, that would be a 500 ball club in Cleveland.
Probably. I mean, but that's, kind of Jameis Winston in a nutshell. I want to get to him for 1 second, but from a Chiefs perspective in last night's game, do you feel better? Like, Denver's a team on the schedule that I look at, I go, God, I don't really want to play them, right? Like that's
especially not the playoffs.
Well, there's a Buffalo reporter already freaking out about playing Denver in the playoffs, right?
Well,
and after watching that game last night, maybe you are, maybe you aren't, but like, did you look at that game and go, oh, the Chiefs can't beat this team in the postseason, or the Chiefs can't beat this team in the regular season? I looked at it as a game last night where defenses basically showed up for pick sixes, but that was about it, right? It was kind of just like Denver's defense has been good all year. Last night, not so much against.
That was a good old-fashioned shootout.
Yeah, it was,
and, you always say, well, I guess we don't, but like I see a lot of people on the text line or people that'll talk to me in, side combos that say the Chiefs play to their talent they're playing.
Yeah.
That was a game where, like, honestly, Patrick Surtain Jr. was getting cooked by Jerry Jeudy.
Right.
They benched one of their corners and put in a rookie from Mizzou who was a fifth-round pick to guard Jerry Jeudy.
Well,
we should have seen that one coming. I mean, it was a return game. He absolutely balled. But no, I look at this game as welcome to another week of the NFL, which is super unpredictable. I mean, that's why we do the script. Like somebody was at Thanks Coach yesterday, was like, it's laughable how wrong you guys get every week. Welcome to the script.
Yeah. How's your gambling receipts looking right now,
Not
pal?
great. Not great.
Come on, Terry.
Good thing I stayed after yesterday for 10 minutes just to lose.
Yeah.
But no, I look at this game. Look, the regular season is so different, and we talked about this yesterday with the Chiefs, how we get to kind of judge them on a higher scale because of the success rate that they have had. Look, that kind of gave me a little bit of insight look at what Bo Nix can do in like a serious game, because that was a game where I think maybe Denver was like, hey, we're at home, we're on some rest, it's Monday night, it's Cleveland, their season's over. Cleveland's fighting, man, because this dude just doesn't back down.
Funny thing about this opportunity is we all know that that's what we do it for. All right, we worked all our life for this moment. It's just us today, and out there on that field, it's only gonna be us. So let's fight together. Let's have each other back. Energy, execution, precision, and domination. All right, together. Here we go. Family on three. 1, 2, 3, family.
And I think that when you look at that game, that was one of these things where, like, you look at what Jameis Winston's doing. He is, he had a career high in passing yards, touchdowns. He threw for 4, threw for 3 picks. 2 of them were pick sixes.
2 pick sixes.
Right.
That's a career high for him in passing yards.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
400 thrown for over 4,000 yards multiple times. He's a gunslinger.
He's
so
over 5,000 in one season.
I was going to say,
well.
30 and 30. Yeah.
But doing 400 and some yards in a game is pretty hard to do,
And we talk about these games. Like, I will tell you this. There's one team in the AFC that I would be nervous playing in the playoffs, and that's Buffalo.
Of course.
And the reason why that is because of quarterback play. Like, we have yet to see Bo Nix in a playoff game.
Right.
When the playoffs get here, which is why I think a lot of us that watch these Chiefs games, like, man, trust me, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. I want to blow out next time the Chiefs play a football game. It may not happen. It may happen. If it does, it does. As long as they keep winning, that's the important part. And then when you get to the playoffs, everybody's game gets focused in on. And I would love to see a team like Denver play the Chiefs or play Buffalo in the playoffs and see how different they look, as opposed to knowing tomorrow's promised, as opposed to, hey, here's where the big dogs play. Because every year we've seen it, and there's really been probably 2 consistent teams that continue to live through it. And that is, there's surprise teams that show us the playoffs. A couple years ago it was Jacksonville. Cleveland last year, and a couple years
ago, yeah.
And now this year it's Denver and
Pittsburgh,
LA.
probably.
And Pittsburgh's been there, but they just don't win in the playoffs, which Tomlin can change that now that he's got his, kind of his core built, and they have the belief in that system this year.
I've seen people saying they're the Super Bowl favorite now, Dusty. Dan Orlovsky is one of those gentlemen who living in the moment where I've been telling you about Tomlin for years. Okay, now all of a sudden everybody's saying, oh, look at Tomlin's doing a nice job. Look what he's doing in Pittsburgh. They're a Super Bowl favorite, I saw Dan Orlovsky say yesterday.
That's good. That's good for him.
That's awesome.
But no, I think if you take the question and take 9 minutes to respond to it, I think what I learned last night is that Denver is not going away. Denver is who they are. They're going to stand toe to toe with you as best they can. But again, that was a regular season game where tomorrow's promise. Let's again wait till we get closer to the end of the season, which again we're only 5 weeks away.
Yeah, we're getting there fast.
The Chiefs will play this Cleveland team in 2 weeks. 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
15th, 2 weeks. Yeah,
2 weeks. So we'll see. You're going to get that Cleveland team trying not to, go down in a ball of flames. But look, Denver stood up. They accepted the challenge, and they played well against Cleveland, who was not going away. So I like seeing that. But yeah, Denver's got a lot of fight in them.
Yeah, they really do. And look, Bo Nix is playing great. And I kind of texted you guys in jest yesterday, but in seriousness, Bo Nix is greater than Bo Jackson. I think Bo Nix will have a better NFL career than Bo Jackson will. You're laughing. What did Bo Jackson do? Jackson is like the biggest fraud athlete ever. There was more promise and there was more excitement about Bo Jackson than what he accomplished. Obviously, the injury got in the way. There's no debate about that. But Bo Nix will have a better NFL career than Bo Jackson. I promise you that. Bo Nix is playing some really, really good football right now. The difference is he has to play good football right now. These teams that we saw last night, or really any other team outside maybe the Bills and Chiefs right now in the AFC, they have to play their best football. They have to empty the playbook. They have to do all these things to make the playoffs, to keep their season alive. Chiefs don't have to do any of that. And so while you're seeing all these amazing plays and you're seeing these big throws and these big moments for teams like Denver and Cleveland, and people are wondering where our shootout is, the Chiefs don't need to play that brand of football right now. They're saving that brand of football for when it matters most, and then they'll unleash the playbook. Then they'll unleash those big moments. Continue to think back to last year and what happened when everybody was wallowing around during the regular season and complaining about this team. What did they do in the playoffs? They unleashed the playbook. They did what they had to do during the regular season to get into the playoffs. And then when the playoffs arrived, they knew how to turn it on and go out there and win in the playoffs. And the only team, in my opinion, right now that can match the Chiefs toe-to-toe in the postseason is Buffalo, and they still haven't been able to knock off the Kansas City Chiefs in the postseason. It's a different ball game when you get there. And I think I saw the stat this morning that Kansas City has now won 14 straight one-score games or something like that, and one-possession games or whatever it is. That's how you win in the playoffs, knowing how to win those close games. What's going on right now is going to benefit them more than scoring 40-some points against the Cleveland Browns team.
No doubt about it. It is December. I'm going to dive into what Mahomes' numbers have been in the last few years of what those December schedules have been. Plus, it is Tuesday. We step into the library, and hopefully there's no yelling. McMurray, Bob Fesco, Dusty Lyans with you on Fesco and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan. It is your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram @TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're looking for something perfect to do during the holiday break or right now, today, tomorrow, the next day, this weekend. You want to take the family out. You want to go on a date. You want to have a holiday party. Foaling is the perfect spot for all of that. And they're beginning year number 2 located at 435 in State Line. And if you haven't foaled in the past year, then you need to get your foal on. You can reserve a lane at foalingkc.com. And what foaling is football plus bowling plus bar, and that equals Foaling Warehouse, Kansas City. You set up the pins just like you're going to bowl, but instead of that bowling ball, you're throwing a football at them. The first person to knock all the pins down wins, and you're going to have yourself a grand old time. And you're going to re-rack and do it again and again and again. It is that much fun. Now, if you knock down the center pin, the 5-pin, all by itself, the bonk horn goes off, everybody celebrates, you get to put your name on the wall, everybody has a good time when it comes to foaling. And I always say it's the perfect spot for a kid's party because you can cater it yourself. They have a world-class bar that serves up the best cocktails you're going to find, but if you're having a birthday party there or an office party, bring your own food, bring those pizzas, bring that barbecue, whatever you want, you can do it at Foaling. So reserve a lane at foalingkc.com, or you can follow them on all social media platforms at foalingkc. That's foalingkc.com, and get your foal on.
Hey, you already know that there's nothing like a custom design and crafted jewelry treasure from House of Diamonds. A one-of-a-kind creation built from scratch for a one-of-a-kind love. but sometimes you have a need for speed. This is Gene at House of Diamonds, and just in case custom jewelry isn't in the cards, we have a case. Actually, we have 19 cases filled with some of the most beautiful handcrafted jewelry you'll ever see. Earrings, rings, bracelets, pearls, pendants, and fine gemstones. A lot of it we created in our shop. All of it carries our name with the quality and craftsmanship you've come to expect from House of Diamonds. And any item can be tweaked and customized just for you. Think of it as Custom Express. Custom Express or custom from scratch. Get it at locally owned, family owned House of Diamonds. House of Diamonds on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to Staples.
Help! My family's in for the holidays and I need gift ideas.
That's why we're here. Staples has amazing deals on everything you need. Photo gifts, laptops, and gaming systems. Even custom holiday cards and shipping solutions to send gifts to the family that can't make it.
Perfect! Have anything for Uncle Frank? I love him, but the guy is never quiet.
Noise-canceling headphones. For you.
You get it.
Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples. And right now at Staples, save up to $350 on select computers. Ends 12/28, in-store only.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at tryethos.com. That's tryethos.com.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first, before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
When Google Fiber first launched 1 gig internet right here in Kansas City, it cost $70. Cut to today. Over 10 years later, 1 gig internet still costs the same, $70. That's what you get with Google Fiber. Fast, reliable internet with simple, straightforward monthly billing. No data caps, no annual contracts, no hidden fees. Just a small local fee for the city on top of your flat, predictable price. Go beyond good enough. Go beyond fiber. Sign up today at fiber.google.com.
Want more from your dealership? At Metro Ford, every new vehicle comes with a lifetime limited powertrain warranty. Family owned, just 10 minutes from downtown and packed with unbeatable value. Drive smarter, only at Metro Ford. Online at kcmetroford.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 35 southbound from Missouri 152 into downtown is a 12-minute trip. I-70 westbound from 470 into downtown, 15 minutes. Kansas side, 35 northbound, trip from Olathe into downtown is 20 minutes. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Back in on a Tuesday morning. Nice chill in the air. You guys start your cars? You have a garage.
Yeah, it
you
is
got a garage
crisp.
spot?
Do not.
So it's a little nippy in that car in the morning.
Oh, God, yes.
For the first time ever, I was like, woo, boy. Cutting glass.
Yeah, I need to clean out Mom's garage so I can get an extra spot.
Yeah,
there.
you got to do that. Just throw all that stuff away. She doesn't need it. She doesn't. Honest to God, she doesn't.
You're probably right.
We started on the basement recently over the last couple of days and whatnot, and like it's easy to throw out somebody else's stuff than throw out your own stuff. Because I start going through my stuff, I'm like, well, I need to keep all this. You know what I did find? My original Nintendo yesterday.
You should put that on Facebook Marketplace.
I don't want to sell that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's like a keepsake, I think.
You're going to play it?
Yeah, every once in a while, I'll probably try to pop it out and see what we can do.
Where's Dad?
Awesome. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the start screen, Dad.
And I got to blow the
wanna try it.
cartridge to make it work and things like that. So no, I found that cleaning out, the basement or whatever the other day. I found some good baseball cards. I found a Hank Aaron baseball card I didn't know I had. I thought that was pretty cool. And
Also known as Henry Aaron.
Found my fake ID from college. That's always pretty good.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we made them. It's great. It's terribly done.
You look at it, how did this pass?
Because it was the 90s and
they
nobody
wanted money.
cared. Yeah, nobody cared. The bars didn't care. We used them in Las Vegas. Like I see the pit bosses are like, okay, whatever. At least you have something, But again, the 90s, man. Nobody cared in the 90s.
I love the 90s.
Yeah, remember that show on MTV? Oh, God.
That and pop-up video.
Pop-up video is fantastic.
Great,
I love pop-up video,
Pop-up
man.
video.
TLR was also a must-watch for me. I don't know if it was for you, but, man, I would race home from school, 3 o'clock, Carson Daly.
The original Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was where Britney Spears first became big, and I noticed Britney Spears in that schoolgirl outfit back in the 90s singing that song, Oops, I Did It Again.
You think that's dynamite? You see Britney Spears today. Dancing with knives and half clothes.
A little bit different than back in the day.
Hey,
a little bit
best.
different,
Do
right?
you, boo?
Yeah, exactly. You take care of yourself.
That's right. We'll get to the Lyans Library here in about 10 minutes. But before we do that, you had mentioned something yesterday. That you said something about, we do this every year.
Uh-huh.
And we talked about Mahomes in December.
Yeah.
So Mahomes in December's record is 22-6.
That's pretty damn good. Yeah.
There's some similarities to this year that are last year, which is parody of the NFL once again.
Mm-hmm.
So Mahomes last year, Mac and I were doing this real quickly before the show, went 3-5 in the month of December last year.
He played 8 games in a 4-week month?
I'm sorry, 3-2. 3-2.
Sorry,
okay. 3-2. Math is hard.
Yeah.
They would beat New England.
Yeah.
Right? You remember that game?
Oh,
That's
God,
the game
yes.
that Mahomes and Tony, it was over.
It was over.
After that,
It was done.
Who you had to catch last night, didn't drop it.
He got hammered pretty good, though, on that play.
He held on to it. I gave him applause.
Baby steps.
I sit there, my roommate's like, who are you clapping for? I'm like, Kadarius Toney caught it. He goes, he's still in the league?
Yeah.
I was like, apparently.
That's how you know when it's bad. Kadarius Toney's on the active roster.
So the Chiefs would lose to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And they would lose to Green Bay.
That's right.
You remember the Green Bay game?
Of course,
MVS, all down the field, no
yep.
call. Chiefs get all the calls, whatever.
Right.
They would beat New England. They would lose to the Raiders. No, they went 2-3 in December. They would lose to the Raiders on Christmas Day.
Right.
Remember when they lost to the Raiders on Christmas Day? Oh, my God.
No, the world was melting.
This could be
right?
a one-and-done year.
Oh, my God. We're not good.
One seed's gone.
Right.
Going to have to go on the road. Oh,
no.
Oh, no.
They went on the road.
And they went to the bottom and went back to the top like that.
Mm-hmm.
This year, Mahomes enters December now. Your opponents this year, much tougher than last year.
Much tougher. The end of the schedule is a lot tougher than it looked a couple of months ago, I think.
And I'm going to ask you the question as well. Look at the first 4 games of the season. And remember when we were looking at that going, wow, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Atlanta, the Chargers, first 4 games of the season?
First 4 games. Boy, if they can go 2-2 in that stretch, that's a good way to start the season.
And you could throw New Orleans in there as well, because when they played them in Week 5, New Orleans was the number 1 offense in the league. Rashid Shaheed was just balling with Derek Carr.
And then it ended real fast.
And Kamara looked like he had second life. And then Derek Carr gets hurt in that game. And the guy from
Tyson Johnson?
No, the guy that was in Spencer Rattler.
Yes.
He comes in. It's terrible. First 5 games, New Orleans Chargers Atlanta, Cincinnati, Baltimore. Everyone looked at that and went, holy smokes.
My.
If they go 2-0 to start the season, Dusty Lyans, myself, said that the AFC is over. Boy, was it not. Because the last 5 games of the season, Chargers, Cleveland, Houston, Pittsburgh, Denver.
That's a hell of a gauntlet at the end of the season, brother.
And the most important name that we're talking about right now is not Mahomes. The most important name we're talking about right now is DJ Humphries. And boy, does DJ Humphries have a test of, grit and strength coming up, because out of those 5 games, boys, you're going to go up against Joey Bosa. You're going to go up against Myles Garrett. You're going to go up against Will Anderson Jr., the reigning defensive player or rookie of the year on defense, and up for defensive player of the year, believe it or not. TJ Watt, and then that defensive line for the Denver Broncos. So if you were ever going to have a guy come in and show his worth, and if he can be better than Wanye Morris and Kingsley Suamataia, boy, DJ Humphries, you are getting thrown into the fire in a time of the year where your quarterback is essentially perfect. 3 of his 6 total losses in the month of December in his career came last year. And now we get into December where Mahomes and the Chiefs kind of turn it on, and you got a guy that's stepping up that you hope can be a valuable piece on that left tackle side to keep his blind side protected. And boy, does he have a test coming up with these final 5 games that really, now we're flipping the schedule. And I know it's hindsight's 2020. Boy, the last 5 games of this season and this December might be the toughest December of Mahomes' career.
It's going to be a tough run. And DJ Humphries, welcome to the show, my man.
No doubt.
You were brought in obviously for a reason, because Mahomes lost it on the field with Wanye Morris and had enough, and so they moved him off the field, which I was watching Baldy's breakdowns yesterday while I was sitting in the pickup line.
Sounds like a porno.
And it does, right? And he showed the last play before the field goal to give us the 19-17 lead, right? And he didn't really break it down, but I'm watching in the corner of the screen because I just wanted to see Wanye Morris and Juwan Taylor, who it's not really having a good season either. He did not have a good game, especially against the Raiders.
He just flying under the low-skimmed radar of Wanye Morris. He really is,
because Wanye Morris has been so bad. How bad is he? Juwan Taylor's flying under the radar, because he had a bad game against the Raiders, too. So I'm watching this Baldy breakdown, and they're usually grainy videos and whatever, and, he shows the last 2 minutes of the game or whatever when they kicked that field goal to go up 19-17. And he really doesn't have, for whatever reason, his phone is not focused on Wanye Morris. But I'm kind of squinting to see to the side. What's Wanye doing on this? Oh, nothing. Literally nothing. The dude was beat out of his stance, right? It was so atrociously bad. And you see Mahomes kind of just in anger throw the ball down. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's it right there. That was the play where Joe Thuney moved outside. And that was the play where Wanye Morris has earned time on the bench moving forward. So there is pressure on DJ Humphries. I mean, he's going to have more pressure on him as an offensive lineman than probably anybody else in the NFL over these last 5 games, because he hasn't played in a year and is now going to be looked at as a guy that is supposed to solidify things. And I know we use the analogy of riding a bike, but if you haven't played in the NFL in a year, there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, and not maybe a learning curve, but a speed curve, right? Remembering how fast these guys are. And then you just went through the list of, players. Good luck, DJ Humphries.
I mean, that is a gauntlet defensive
This
end.
isn't the Big 12. This is this is Division I in the NFL, the top team with the best quarterback. Go after it, my man.
I don't have the knowledge of who the offensive line coach is for the Chiefs.
It's Andy Heck.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would have him and Spags get together and be like, hey, last 5 minutes of practice, slide 95 over on the defensive edge side and just have DJ Humphries take some reps against him to get geared up for the game. I know Chris Jones is no TJ Watt, Bosa, Garrett, Will Anderson, guys like that. But, I mean, practice makes perfect, man.
Yeah,
and
right.
if you can get used to somebody like that bull rushing you and just be like, okay, that was Chris Jones, who's considered one of the top 3 defensive linemen in the game right now, maybe top 2. Look, man, I just looked at that schedule last night. I'm thinking to myself, well, first 5 games were tough. Man, the last 5 games are even more
difficult. And Cleveland isn't a gimme anymore. They're still fighting.
They're very feisty. 4 of your last 5 teams have winning records. And Cleveland is not what their record implicates, because they had that scumbag at quarterback who, if they didn't have that, jailbreak contract, which that's not the term to use, but, handcuffed contract would be the way to use it, Jameis Winston would have this team at 500. So that team is not going to just let you have a free pass.
And they're going to be playing the Chiefs, and everybody plays their best game when they play against the Chiefs. But hey, maybe it's a game for Kareem Hunt to go back to Cleveland and show them, what they lost, right? You kind of think that way. But, I mean, to me, the success of the last 5 games really does rest along that offensive line. I was seeing stuff, from folks on social media yesterday complaining about play calling or complaining about this and complaining about that. It's like, how do you not see what's going on in front of you? Like, if you're Patrick Mahomes and you have a jailbreak in your face every single play from the left side of the line, it doesn't matter what plays you're calling. It doesn't matter. You don't have time to set up anything. And go back and watch that last play right before the field goal. And Wanye Morris barely gets out of his stance. That cat runs right past him, right through him. And that wasn't the only time on Friday that guy was getting moved around. But in Chiefs fashion, like they always do, a situation presents itself that isn't good. They go out there and they try to rectify it. And that's what they did with DJ Humphries. And as a fan, you got to appreciate that, because there's a lot of organizations, and we've seen them here in Kansas City before, go, well, sorry, this is what we have. Go figure it out. The Chiefs are like, no, go fix this, because we all want this three-peat. We're doing it for ourselves, and we're doing it for the fans of Kansas City as well, and we're doing it for history. And so you got to love that from this organization that just didn't stand pat and say, sorry, figure it out, folks. Park's closed. You know, they went out and continued to put more money into this team and bring somebody in who hopefully is better than this Wanye.
Well, and
family vacation, right?
It can't get worse, because it's been an embarrassment from Wanye. And I think that's probably the positive spin to your pressure point for DJ Humphries. He's been sitting here these last couple weeks watching Wanye Morris be an embarrassment to the position, saying, damn, I can't be worse than that, right? I mean, and the Chiefs are still winning games. I'm on this team that's still able to win games with that. I know what I'm a former All-Pro. Even if I haven't played in the season,
one
I'm
of
coming
the
off the ACL.
10 best tackles in the game when he was healthy.
If anything, he's thinking, damn, all I need to do is be average, and then I'll get back up to my full self by playoff time.
And then playoff time rolls around, and this guy's crushing it.
If anything, he's probably invigorated, thinking, damn, this team can still win games with that, and I know what I am. So maybe that's the positive spin there.
Yeah.
It's also funny how everybody wants a blowout win or wants to see him win in dominance. These next 5 games, I don't care how you win, just win. And it's going to change. Like, I don't care if they win 17-19 or 19-17 or 20-21. You play these next 5 games and win all of them by a combined total of 5 points, I don't care.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You don't get bonus points for blowouts. You just don't. So, again, I feel like we have these conversations every single year. People watch the Chiefs win a Super Bowl, then they develop amnesia and forget what happened in the regular season and react the same way again. Then the playoffs go, oh, we're a playoff team. And then we develop amnesia, and then we have these same conversations again. It's an 11-1 football team that just upgraded its weakest position with the best quarterback and head coach combination this league has ever seen. Let's go.
Gentlemen, welcome back to the library. Darn, glad to have you.
Would you like to go to a library that has a string section?
Come on, I'd like you to go to the library and understand the rules.
Nice cello.
Yeah, you can't be loud.
Library's a scam. Dewey Decimal System.
No, I feel good.
I
feel so much better about myself when I'm here in the library. It smells like coffee and new books. A smell you can't replace.
Did you ever go to the stacks in the library in college?
No, I went to the naughty section, a.k.a. National Geographic.
Yeah, oh, God. Remember back in the day, that was like...
Bob, Mac, welcome to our library here in the Lyans Library. Good to see your member card still work.
People would always have sex in the stacks at KU.
I'm going to need you to tone it down. Sorry. It's okay. We start off with this week's book of the Better Storybooks. The Better 2024-2025 Storybook. Saquon Barkley, Bo Nix.
Better story? Saquon. We see good rookie quarterbacks all the time. I'm sorry.
Come on. I know you're excited. This is book 1. We have a little bit more to go.
I'm going to say Bo Nix. He was the 6th quarterback drafted, and he's playing better than anybody as a rookie.
Was he the 6th?
Yeah.
We're 5 ahead of him?
Yep, that's right.
He was the 8th pick?
He was the 6th pick at quarterback in the draft.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Math. So you take Bo Nix, Mr. Fesco, and Mac, you checked out Saquon Barkley.
For sure.
Great offensive line.
Imagine having that offensive line in Kansas City.
Oh, boy.
Or just the left tackle.
I was going to say, we're close.
Can Jason Kelsey still play? Better fiction book. Bills can win it all. Nick Sirianni can get back to the Super Bowl.
I think Nick Sirianni getting back to the Super Bowl is the better fiction book. Because I think that's more believable.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm going for. What's more believable here? Better fiction? Okay, sorry. Yeah, I was getting confused. Yeah, I'll go there, but it's close. The Bills have I don't want to say scare because nothing scares me as a Chiefs fan at this point, but they're a threat.
No doubt.
Bills are real.
Until they do it, though, in the postseason.
I get it.
They're just an also-ran.
They're just doing it in the stack section.
That's right.
Sir, this is not a funny matter. This is a serious Lyans Library.
Kind of funny book. It's
funny, haha. Better bio.
Funny how?
Yeah. Like a clown? Do I amuse you? Better biography
Funny.
this year. Sam Darnold, Jameis Winston.
Sam Darnold, because he's been there from day one, and they're 10-2.
Yeah. I've been on the Sam Darnold train for a while. I feel pretty vindicated. I'm excited for him. Even though it's not been great the last month as what much it was the first 5 or 6 weeks, I'm excited. Yeah, give me Sam.
They're still 10-2, and he's still the quarterback of that team, and he's playing for a great coach right now,
Like
too.
people, they play the Lions again. People don't want to talk about that. They're 1 game back from Detroit. People are like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Detroit's it's a foregone conclusion." I mean, Detroit plays Buffalo.
Right.
Like this division's not over.
No, it's not.
Seems kind of interesting that the Chiefs can't lose, neither can Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
If you like Vindicated, we have an audio section over here. Maybe you've heard the band Dashboard Confessional. They have a song called Vindicated. It was in the featured film of Spider-Man 2 or 1. Either way, Tobey Maguire was in there. And a little bio about Tobey Maguire. He cries after fornication. Him and Jake Gyllenhaal. All Too Well. Song
Really?
also in the audio section of Taylor Swift about one Jake Gyllenhaal. The red scarf that he stole from her and kept in his closet. It's
Trust
a weird
me.
guy.
Hannah
Weird
has
guy.
informed me of the lore.
Weird guy, Ace. Better romantic novel. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, Josh Allen, and Haley Steinfeld.
Well, you know how big of a Jerry Seinfeld fan I am, so I'm going with Jerry's daughter and Josh Allen.
Why can't he figure out how to say her name correctly?
Yeah, give me Kelsey and T Swift, baby. Come on.
Both novels still unfinished, but I guess at those.
Well,
you can
one's getting closer to the end. One has a ring and the other doesn't, you know?
your membership's coming close to an end if you can't keep your voice down.
Jerry is going to be the father-in-law of Josh Allen.
I can't.
Why
believe-
is he marrying my daughter?
I can't. I just can't believe I found out yesterday that Jerry Seinfeld took Skylar White to a Paul Simon concert. Guess who's watching Seinfeld?
She was in one episode.
Yep, and they went to Paul Simon concert, but he had to prove that she made out with his friend. Last book of, or no, 2 more books left. Favorite action novel this year? TJ Watt, Myles Garrett.
Both have been pretty good.
Yeah, they've been really good.
But TJ Watt plays for a winner. Myles Garrett plays for the Browns. So I'll go with TJ Watt.
I don't know. I feel like TJ Watt gets to be like a part of the Avengers while Myles Garrett's like with like a couple janitors or something.
Justice League.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's still trying to save the world, but like he's got Batman on his side. Who cares? Batman
His
sucks.
Batman is Ben Affleck.
Yeah, exactly. They got Christian Bale. Yeah, so yeah, I'll take Myles Garrett though.
I'm not wearing hockey pads. The last book of the Lyans Library edition of a Tuesday in December. Choose your ending. Bills lose in the AFC Championship game again. Detroit loses in the NFC Championship game again.
It's Buffalo. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. But I mean, I guess maybe if Detroit loses, that means Buffalo's not in there, and that's easier for Kansas City. So that's the other spin there.
Mm.
But it'd be sweet to beat Buffalo again.
Yeah.
4-0 in the playoffs would be pretty crazy.
If the Bills lose in the AFC Championship game again, they're losing to Kansas City.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
All right, your guys' voices have gotten a little loud. We have to close the library because you guys have ruined it for the rest of us. But that is another edition of the Lyans Library. Fun little segment there. Love to do that. Book related. Welcome to December. I do like the question of Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, because Myles Garrett screams one of those players in like a year or two. He's going to go to a contender and be like a reckless abandon and just be like, this is what I've been waiting for my whole entire career. And I still don't know which one I would choose. Blindfolded, I would just point, and if I got either one, I'd be satisfied.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you could say Myles Garrett or TJ Watt could come here, but you could only have one, I'd say fine, whoever you want. Whichever player can come here, come here. I'm good with it.
2 years left on his contract, so we'll see what they do with it.
We have 2 requests about the library. Hey, fellas from the 620, can we move the library bit a little later into the morning? I was relaxing. I dozed off while driving. Tripped into a ditch. And then the other one is, how has this bit not been cut yet? Good question. Good question from the 913. Yeah, no, I am interested.
I
because
really actually enjoyed the bit, quite honestly.
I think it's great.
Who's got more pressure, I would say, McDermott or Dan Campbell?
Oh, McDermott, there's no question. Dan Campbell's still new on the block.
Yeah,
also,
for sure.
How about the addition by subtraction with Stephon Diggs in Buffalo?
Yeah,
is there anything there?
No,
Like,
he's addition
not
by
there.
subtraction at every team he goes from.
I mean, there's no question that team and that quarterback coach rapport is a lot better this year. Like if you watched at the end of that game, I know winning helps, obviously,
but they're
like
winning because that guy's gone.
And you remember how last year started? Like Stephon Diggs and all that stuff was like going back and forth, and then Allen was like, he's doing whatever he did. Then McDermott said some stuff, and then this year. Seems like they're back to being pals and everything's running, and he doesn't really have a number one wide receiver, and Josh Allen's your MVP runner in the clubhouse.
Well, and that's what happens when you have a bad seed in any organization. Like I understand.
Kind of interesting. The Chiefs move on from Tyreek Hill. Mahomes wins an MVP. Josh Allen moves on from Stephon Diggs and is going to win an MVP.
I mean,
that's why you pay quarterbacks.
You can connect the dots. You don't need to pay wide receivers, and especially wide receivers that are divas that think it's all about them and nobody else. Like moving on from somebody when you see, oh my God, the Chiefs are moving on from Tyreek Hill. How much better is this organization without that guy around? He's still wearing Chiefs pants. I don't know if you saw the picture with his 11th child. He was wearing a pair of Chiefs sweatpants.
Will he change his number every time he has a kid? Because he's at 10.
I think he's
10.
at 11, though.
So now he's going to wear 11?
I think it's 11.
That'd be hilarious.
I think it's 11. I thought 10 was his last child. I could be wrong. I mean, who's keeping track?
Eventually, there's going to be a Tyreek Hill IV in the league. I'll take my time off the air the rest of the day. No, I kid.
But no, I mean,
literally, I kid.
Yeah, kid 11 times or 10, depending on.
I don't know. Did you have 11?
I don't know, honestly, Dusty. Some people have said 10. Some people have said 11. I don't know if this was the 10th one being born or the 10th one was born and this is now 11th. But he's wearing Chiefs sweatpants in that picture with his new child.
That's tough.
You move on from these guys who are these egomaniacs, and your organization gets better. It gets better as a whole. Yeah, you may lose the production, but what you gain with having the peace and the calmness and not dealing with the outside noise and not dealing with somebody who doesn't want to be there and is all about himself, you gain so much. And every organization that moves on from one of these guys that is a self-centered player gets better as an organization.
In 20 years, the Pro Bowl should just be Phillip Rivers' kids versus Tyreek Hill's kids. 11 on 11. From the 913. I love that library bit. I'd love it more if Fesco wasn't yelling consistently. Well, he just breaks the rules. Like you said, he was making whoopee in the stack session in Lawrence.
No, I wasn't. You should have seen it. You saw the pictures in college. It wasn't good.
Well, big guys need love, too.
You're right.
People that are not getting any love on a Tuesday is our Tough Tuesday. Coming up on the other side, you're listening to Fesco, Dusty, and Mac here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Fesco and Dusty. Subscribe and watch the show on YouTube by going to our channel at The Fan 965, Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, the holiday travel season is here, and that means you're going to be running to the airport. And the last thing you want to do is worry about, oh my gosh, where am I going to park? Because we say that for everything in Kansas City. You want to take care of that before you even head out the door and go to the airport. That's why Park and Go is there for you. Number one, they're going to provide you with all covered parking. So this time of year, the snow, the sleet, all the nasty weather, your car is going to be protected because it's covered parking at Park and Go, every single spot. And that's why it's best to make your reservation as soon as you make your flight reservation, because that way you've got your spot reserved. And then you'll prepay and get their lowest rate and save a bunch of money. Show up on the day of your flight, give them your reservation number. They'll direct you right to that covered spot. Soon as you get there, the van will meet you and take you right to the airport terminal. These guys are awesome, on time. They're on it. You're never going to have that anxiety of missing your flight or if this van's ever going to show up. Park and Go is as reliable as it gets, and they're even better when you get back. Grab your bags, walk outside, and there's the van. The last thing you want to do is wait hours on the curb trying to get home after a long trip. Park and Go is there right away, and they take you right back to the trunk of your car. So join their frequent parker program and earn points towards free parking like we do every single time. Your family-owned and operated airport parking destination is Park and Go. Always the best service and always the best price. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. It's Park and Go.
Hi. This weekly football recap is brought to you by MD Anderson Cancer Center.
As we're nearing the final quarter of the pro football season, games matter now more than ever. This week we saw Buffalo and Kansas City both clinch playoff spots with their victories over San Francisco and Las Vegas, and Pittsburgh continued to excel with their highest scoring victory over Cincinnati with a final score of 44-38.
MD Anderson Cancer Center is doing whatever it takes in the pursuit of making cancer history. Learn more at findyourmdanderson.com.
MD Anderson Cancer Center is again ranked #1 in the nation for cancer care by U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals rankings. Our physicians treat more types of cancers in a day than many see in their whole career. This unmatched depth of expertise, combined with our groundbreaking discoveries, gives our patients access to the most innovative treatment options. Learn more at mdanderson.org.
Planning to propose this holiday? Shane Company is ready to help you find your dream engagement ring. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds and colorful gemstones in all shapes and sizes. So when you walk in the door, you can trust your rock is in stock. At Shane Company, we've always sourced directly, cut out the middleman, and pass the savings on to you. We work with your budget, not against it. We'll also protect your ring for life with our free unmatched lifetime warranty. Come see us at shaneco.com and in-store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
When it comes to beef, nothing tops world-class highly marbled Wagyu. Booth Creek Wagyu's Overland Park Meat Market is ready to elevate your beef. Their farm-to-fork commitment brings this intensely rich and flavorful beef from the tall grass prairies north of Manhattan, Kansas, directly to your table. Stop into the store to see what our customers are calling the jewelry store of beef and taste the difference. Our in-store experts are sampling freshly seared Wagyu 7 days a week. Located in the shops at Deer Creek Woods at 135th and Metcalf.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare and you want out, you need to get the facts. Wesley Financial Group and its founder, Chuck McDowell, have helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshares permanently, and he may be able to help you too. Call right now. Chuck will send you a timeshare exit information guide free explaining how your timeshare works and all your options for cancellation. You want to call Wesley Financial Group, 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. Once again, 800-761-0000.
Old Spice Swagger Holiday Pack, perfect for a gift to treat yourself. 24/7 holiday freshness with daily use can smell your bestest. I'm gonna be smelling great all season. Old Spice scents just can't be beaten. Chock full of value, saving that green. Got the essentials needed to feel clean. Deodorant, hair, body wash, and spray. Celebrate your holiday the Old Spice way. Ho 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 ho.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Renner Garage Door, your home's garage door source. Kansas side 35 northbound trip from Olathe into downtown is 20 minutes. When the snow and ice hits, make sure your garage door is ready, whether it's a smart LiftMaster opener, service repair, or brand new door. Renner Garage Door has you covered. Locally owned and serving all of KC since 1956. RENNER, forward and back. Rennerdoor.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Back in on a Tuesday morning. Good morning, Kansas City from 96.5 The Fan. Your home for Kansas City sports. Fesco and Dusty back with you. Full week back. Diving into the month of December. Teams are slowly but surely getting eliminated. Jacksonville with the Denver win last night, gone. Doug Peterson.
Officially eliminated?
Officially eliminated. And now they have, of course, what you said, the first overall pick.
That's right. Jacksonville right now, based on record and strength of schedule, has the #1 overall pick, followed by the Raiders and then the Giants. Those are your top 3 teams right now. So Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, 1 and 2 probably on that list. And then I don't know who goes to New York. They take that quarterback from Miami that everybody was in love with, but then Miami lost to Syracuse.
Cam Ward?
I didn't know that Syracuse was still fielding a football team, let alone going out there knocking Miami out of the ACC championship game. I guess, I honestly, guys, I don't know who the best quarterback is in college football right now. I don't think it's a really good year, obviously, for quarterbacks. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is going to be great right away. I think there's a lot to do with Shedeur Sanders before he becomes a great NFL quarterback. I don't know enough about Cam Ward. I didn't even know his name till 2 seconds ago. I blanked on him, so he hasn't rung the bell for me all year. I just don't know if you're looking to build a team and you have one of those top 2 picks. I'm not going to say Jacksonville's probably not going to draft a quarterback, right? Or unless they trade Trevor Lawrence to somebody and then they decide to draft a quarterback. But like if you're the Giants or the Raiders sitting at 2 and 3, this is not a good year to have one of those picks when you're looking for somebody to kind of run your operation for the next decade.
And I don't think next year is either. Like looking ahead, I don't think there's some phenom coming. I mean, unless you're in love with Arch Manning, it's not like there's someone.
Okay, let me ask you guys this question because that seems to be the name. Like people are in love with Arch Manning.
Yes.
He's not even starting at Texas. Like, so why is everybody in love? Like, we always fall in love with the unknown in sports. Arch Manning right now has the name, but he's an unknown. And obviously Quinn Ewers is playing good there, but I don't know that he's a guy that you want to build your franchise around, right?
I don't think Quinn Ewers is going to be good on Sundays.
I don't either.
No.
Who's the last Texas quarterback that really was good on Sundays?
What, Colt McCoy?
Colt McCoy got hurt a lot.
Not Chris Sims.
No. Who?
Yeah, Vince Young was bad.
Vince Young?
He was a disappointment.
He was too in love with the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, God, yes.
Buying everybody's meals.
Yeah.
Tennessee Mac.
Yeah. Didn't he buy everybody's food at the
multiple times?
Yeah, and that's why he was broke or something. Like he spent all his money at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, they said he'd spend like $40,000 a month on food because he would just stand up and be like, everybody's meal's on me. And they're like, dude, you know that when you get your NFL check, you don't get it all in one lump sum. It's like weekly.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It's rough.
So, I just don't know. I don't know that there's a great quarterback out there. I think there's going to be a lot of trades and folks moving around and trying to stockpile picks. I mean, like, if you're Jacksonville right now, do you really want to continue to play Trevor Lawrence? Is that your guy? I don't know. Maybe you try to trade him to the Raiders or the Giants.
I think what this year screams is that there's going to be a couple of veteran guys that are not going to get continued on their team, like Kirk Cousins, maybe a Sam Darnold, guys like that.
Littlefinger.
Littlefinger.
Who wants him?
I agree.
I mean,
I agree.
This is probably one of those years, and this is where it's kind of like a tie-up between Shedeur Sanders, who's, a pretty exalted athlete. I think that's fine because he's shown it. He's gotten paid by NIL. His dad is who his dad is. If he's going to go to the league, he's got to be humbled a little bit.
Yeah.
He's going to have to sit a year, and you go get one of those veteran guys to kind of play in front of him, and then you build your team thinking, okay, this is a process. We've heard Max say this a lot. Bryce Young gets benched for a couple of games, comes back a brand new man. Shout out Brooks and Dunn. You look at Anthony Richardson, got humbled, dude. Said he was tired to the playoff. And then all of a sudden, now he's been fantastic for his team. I know they're not winning, but they're in the hunt. They could somehow backdoor cover that AFC South. Be careful. I know they've lost to Houston twice, but again, 2 games behind them. Houston's got one more loss on their record that we know of.
Right.
So again, I think that's the route for quarterbacks this year coming out of the draft because as Binkley, who will join us tomorrow, has told me the next couple of years are not good for quarterbacks.
Exactly.
Cam Ward is a project. Quinn Ewers is a project. Shedeur Sanders is a project. Like you're going to have some sort of veteran.
Carson Beck sucks.
Yeah, pray for him. But again, like the thing about that is that might be the way the NFL is. I know that if the Maserati's sitting in the driveway, but you're only 15, you got to wait a year to get that license. Look, it was in the garage with Andy with Tennessee. Everybody says if Mahomes goes in that game against Tennessee, there's a chance the Chiefs play in a Super Bowl and they win. They didn't. And luckily enough, I know it's maybe a little bit of, selfish take. They don't play him. He learns more. He gets more hunger.
Absolutely.
And now he's got three things on his fingers that are called Super Bowl rings, boys.
Right.
Going for a three-peat.
You don't waste time with the space-time continuum here, man. Like, I don't want to go back and do anything different with Patrick Mahomes and this organization did because there's no guarantees it's going to play out the way it has. And what we've been living through so far, it's been pretty damn good. It's been pretty damn good. I'm not going to trade it for the world and going back and say, well, maybe they could have beaten Tennessee in that game. But, like, if you're the Giants or the Raiders, maybe you're going out there and you are spending money on Russell Wilson this offseason, or you're spending money on Sam Darnold this offseason, or you're making a trade for Trevor Lawrence, or maybe a Kirk Cousins type of move as well. I think those are 4 quarterbacks that could potentially be on the move. Pittsburgh may have to double down, though, with Russell Wilson and end up paying him. I saw something this morning that they expect him to get like a Daniel Jones type of contract, 3 years for $140 million or whatever it was.
Have fun with that.
I mean, that's a lot of money. You added 3 more years on to Russell Wilson. And if Russell's smart, he takes whatever Pittsburgh offers and stays where he is because he's having success.
It's not always successful for some people on Tuesdays as we get into a tough Tuesday here on Fesco and Dusty. I will start this off with the tough Tuesdays, and I'll go quickly. John Harbaugh, man. It's getting tough, man. 5-loss team now. You're no longer the leader of your division. You're now the 6th seed. I believe you would go play Houston in the first round of the playoffs. That's a tough game. It's a rematch of last year's divisional round. John Harbaugh, it's getting tough and tougher in Baltimore for him this season. Mike McDaniels in Miami. It's getting tough for him on a Tuesday. I mean, like I said yesterday, the gimmick's kind of running stale. You can't beat good teams. You can't win in the cold. The NFL is a season of 2 halves. Obviously, you play the first half in Miami. It's great weather. It's warm. But there's going to be times, especially in the division that you play in, New England, Buffalo, New York, you're going to have to go places and win in the cold weather. And eventually, you're going to have to start beating good teams.
Yeah.
Last year, they went 11-6. All 6 games they lost. Playoff teams. Couldn't beat them. Lost in the playoffs in cold weather to the Chiefs. Anomaly of weather, I guess. But, hey, that's playoff football.
It would have been cold regardless.
Right.
That just happened to be extra cold,
right.
you know?
The other one is kind of a combined veteran kickers, guys. Justin Tucker, very, very tough Tuesday. He's got to be at least one more big miss away from maybe thinking about getting benched, because if he doesn't, John Harbaugh, you're going to take Justin Tucker down with you in a ball of flames? I don't think so. And then Dustin Hopkins, man, that guy last night for Cleveland, that guy's been kind of not the same since, he's gotten older. So my tough Tuesday, John Harbaugh, Mikey Mack, Justin Tuck, and not Justin Tuck, the guy, the lineman, Justin Tucker, and Dustin Hopkins.
Well, and it's funny about the kicker because Ben Maller sent me an article this morning. Somebody's blaming, quote-unquote, Travis Kelce voodoo magic for why, Justin Tucker isn't playing well. I go, well, yeah.
What do they say?
Exactly.
F around and find out?
Yeah, I mean, you're kicking tea and doing stupid things. See what happens. For me, it's going to be real quick. It's Doug Peterson, obviously, on the top of that list. Another opportunity to move on from Doug Peterson, but for whatever reason, they're not. I'm with you on Mike McDaniel, too. It's time to pass on him. Like that shtick works when you're winning, and even if you're 11-6, you're winning. You can pull that shtick off. They're not winning right now.
That's cool. You beat the Jets and the Patriots twice.
Yeah,
4 wins on your schedule. You're 11.
Yay!
Yeah.
Congratulations. And then finally, the Jets quarterback. The Jets need to make a decision today that they're not playing this guy anymore and just move on. I don't even know who the backup is for the Jets, but it's better than what they have going on right now.
I think it's Tyrod Taylor.
It
is that right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it is.
T-Rod.
He's better than Peter Baelish.
Yeah,
I think so. The only thing I'll add is Kirk Cousins, man. Tough Tuesday, 4 interceptions, lost them that game.
They're talking about benching him. Their fandom wants Michael Penix.
Seriously?
Of course,
They should at this point in time. You're not gaining anything,
No.
right? And look, maybe you're gaining the Mahomesian effect by having Penix sit all season long behind Kirk Cousins. But I would imagine his time in Atlanta is going to come to an end. That game on Sunday, I was obviously watching a lot of that on the red zone. I've never seen a quarterback give away a game like that before. That was shades of Littlefinger in New York.
Well, the problem with that game that was unbelievable for Kirk Cousins is that they were baiting him in a soft cover 2 zone. And I know we don't get into the defenses here, Mac, but they were literally just playing that safety up, cheating on the route, and they were just picking Kirk Cousins off all day.
And that's a basic defense.
I mean, it's what you played on Madden when you wanted to get an advantage of your friend. You just played the cover 2. They throw that quick out, boom, safety, gone. Or corner,
Pick
gone.
six,
Every time.
Yep.
And they literally were doing that to Kirk Cousins.
I've never seen anything like that before. I really haven't. And it gives me some, excitement leading into this Sunday night game that the Chargers they weren't competitive in that game, but they had 4 freaking interceptions.
Yep. They scored 10 points on offense.
Yeah. I mean, enough with the Chargers love, right? Like the Falcons had 4 interceptions and they barely lost that football game.
Yes.
That's how he rolls. Coming up, we get back into the month of December and what it means for this Kansas City Chiefs team with their quarterback and head coach, because that's really all that matters this time of the year. Bob Fesco, Dusty Lyans, Mac Morey. You're listening to Fesco and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty.
I just want to say how awesome it is to have Bob Fesco and Legend Lyans on every morning to start my day. I freaking love you guys.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got to make your first NBA bet a swish with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. A lot of NBA action coming up tonight and tomorrow in between the big football games all weekend long. And FanDuel has your favorite bets from who will win the game to how many points a player will score. I'd bet on LeBron to hit a shot. Plus, check out newer bets like the number of dunks, assists, or 3-pointers in the next 3 minutes. It doesn't matter if you tap into FanDuel before the game starts or after it's already tipped off. You can pick up a W whenever. And now is the perfect time to get in on the action. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/610Bob for your chance to score $150 in bonus bets. Have a ball betting with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA and of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Hey, it's Cody and Gold, and for those of you who've been listening to the show for a while, you know all about our friends over at Centric and how you can find a brand new career in as little as 4 months. But did you also know that you can work with your current schedule with some of their flex options for learning online or in person?
Maybe you're just getting out of high school and want to start that career now and that career path now, or you're looking for that change with better advancement, better pay. Centric can do those things for you.
They have plenty of funding options like the GI Bill. You just got to go talk to our friend Russ at Centric.com. That's CENTRIQ.com.
You're always better with a roof from JR.
We've had more than our fair share of hail and wind this year. Are you playing Roofer Roulette? That's when you bet your roof and your home on the first random roofer to ring your doorbell. Why do that when JR and Company offers a free hail and wind report online at jrstormcheck.com? Just plug in your address and we'll pull a multi-year storm report. You'll know exactly what your roof has been put through and if you even need an inspection. If you do, no one is more thorough and works better with your insurance than locally owned, veteran-owned JR and Company. And if you need a new roof, remember, a roof from JR comes with a lifetime warranty on workmanship. Don't play Roofer Roulette with your home. Visit jrstormcheck.com and remember,
you're always better with a roof from JR.
Visit jrstormcheck.com.
Winchester at Lake City Army Ammunition Plant in Independence is the largest manufacturer of small caliber ammunition for the U.S. military. They're hiring technicians starting at $26.72 an hour with a $1,000 hiring bonus. Excellent day one benefits include medical, dental, educational support, paid time off, and company retirement contributions up to 8%. Join Winchester and serve the U.S. warfighter. It's more than a job. It's a mission. Apply at winchester.com/careers.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Football and barbecue fans, score big with Johnny's Barbecue tailgate packages. Whether you're hosting a home gate or a tailgate, Johnny's Barbecue has you covered. Check out our tailgate packages at johnny'sbbqkc.com. Located in Olathe and serving all of KC. Johnny's Barbecue. Taste the smoke.
Chiefs coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by award-winning Johnny's Barbecue in Olathe.
Want more from your dealership? At Metro Ford, every new vehicle comes with a lifetime limited powertrain warranty. Family owned, just 10 minutes from downtown and packed with unbeatable value. Drive smarter, only at Metro Ford. Online at kcmetroford.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side 70 westbound slow rolling between Lee's Summit Road out past Noland. US 50 westbound sluggish in Lee's Summit from 3rd Street up to 470. And 71 northbound is slow right now from 87th up towards Gregory. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
You're listening to the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Chiefs football. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Back in on 96.5 The Fan, Bob Fesco, Mac Morey, Dusty Lyans with you. Mac from the text line 816, why is so-and-so Peter Baelish? LOL. I guess you have to watch Game of Thrones and realize that.
See, I didn't watch Game of Thrones, and you explained the reference, so now I understand what you're talking about. Self-centered, what's the word? Narcissistic, right? Isn't that kind of,
Yeah, like manipulative.
Yeah. Very manipulative, somehow stays relevant. Nobody understands why. And
everyone's like, get out of here, but he's just there.
He's just there.
Yeah, and he's got like 2 to 3 people that are like, I got to stay around this guy. I love Devontae Adams. I don't know who
Nate
else.
Hackett.
Lazard.
Maybe, Woody
Commandant
Johnson.
Lazard?
Woody Johnson looked at it as dollar signs, you know?
For what, though? I mean, like, every NFL game, for the most part, is sold out. You already have,
True.
I mean, you're going to sell jerseys, obviously.
Yeah, that's probably,
you know, but it's not like you need it for marketing dollars. You're getting all that from CBS and Fox and ESPN and ABC. Like, your games are pretty much sold out. So maybe a few jersey sales.
Prime time doesn't do anything for a franchise?
Nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all split evenly. So, like, where are you making extra money from?
True.
By having him? Jersey sales is probably it. And if you bought one of those jerseys, God love you, man.
Like the city of Jersey? Or
yes,
like,
exactly.
Okay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes. They're selling cities in England to the Jet fans.
Yeah.
Which would be better than buying a jersey of that quarterback.
A lot of jerseys sold for one quarterback, that is Patrick Mahomes, who I believe is still the leader in the clubhouse of jerseys sold for the 2024 year. A lot of other guys making the climb on that. I could be wrong. I thought I saw a graphic the other day of that, but
Isn't that a Miley Cyrus song?
a graphic of that?
Climb.
Oh yeah, good song.
Yeah.
That's before we got the real version of Miley.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she really stepped her game up. She came out with that album Wrecking Ball. Good hell.
Yeah.
That video.
She looks a lot like that Hannah Montana. Remember that show from back in the day?
Yeah.
I don't. I was way too old to
Yeah, I
watch
was
Hannah
too.
Montana.
Yeah.
So if you're watching Hannah
watched every
Montana, man,
episode.
Hey, you
baby.
watched every episode of
for
it?
sure. I had to put a wall up in here. So no, I mean, I don't know if you guys have like a month where you feel, powerful, or you feel like you're at your best in that month. I think that month is December for Patrick Mahomes. Overall record 22-6. 3 of those losses came last year in the month of December. 2 of them came the previous year. This will be one of the toughest December gauntlets for Patrick Mahomes. And a good sign for that is that we've seen his game kind of completely turn around, whereas we've yet to have both sides of the field play in unison together. And maybe I'm just prisoner of the moment, but it seems that when the defense has started to decline so far in the second half, Mahomes' game has inclined. And it'd be a beautiful thing if both those would just finally look at himself in the mirror like the Spider-Man meme and just be like, you, me, or you, me, or you. And this December, Patrick Mahomes is going to get the Chargers, who are showing that they are a team of the future. He's going to get the Cleveland Browns, who are showing you that they're a team that likes to play spoiler. Almost did it to Denver last night. Didn't go away. Didn't, back down from the fight. You get the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then obviously in January is when you'll get that Denver game. But that is a very tough 4-game stretch. You have a new left tackle coming in to hopefully patch up what is the leak in the boat over there on the left side of the ship. And then you have Patrick Mahomes who's saying, okay, we're pissed off. The Raiders did it to us again. The last time the Raiders pissed us off in December, we came back with a vengeance and won the whole effing thing.
And those are things that there are no statistical analysis. Like the nerds can't prove that. But if you watch this team and you know what they're about, you know this is their MO. They know how to turn it on. And that's the difference between good players and great players and exceptional players. Knowing how to turn it on when the moment is big. I use the Derek Jeter analogy all the time. Wasn't the greatest shortstop on his team, but there's nobody you wanted in the postseason
What was his nickname?
than Derek Jeter, the captain.
Oh, I thought it was Mr. November.
Oh, Mr. November. Yeah,
like,
right, exactly. Yeah, he was like the first, big home run in the month of November in 2001 because he showed up when the moment was big. And that's where Patrick Mahomes is. Like Aaron Judge is a great regular season player. I'd bench him in the playoffs. He sucks, right? What did he do in the postseason? Nothing.
I know, but
nothing.
You don't bench guys like that.
Why not, though? Because eventually you have to earn it, right? Eventually you have to prove that you're not just a May player going against 4 and 5 guys in the rotation. You have to prove that you can hit a 1 or a 2. Aaron Judge is yet to do that. Patrick Mahomes has proven that he can beat 1s or 2s. He can beat 3s or 4s. He can beat you on the road. He can beat you at home. That's why when people start to get into this statistical analysis and say this about Mahomes and say that about Mahomes, they're missing the big picture of what Patrick Mahomes is And that is a guy who knows how to win. And we talk about the just win baby slogan all the time, which you said yesterday is very ironic now with the Raiders not being able to win ever. But that's what it's all about. It's about just winning. It's not about style points. It's not about looking pretty. It's not about being perfect. It's about finding ways to win. And nobody finds ways to win better that I've ever seen this side of Michael Jordan, essentially, than what Patrick Mahomes has been able to do. Just when you think it's over, just when you think they're out, this gentleman has a play that you go, oh, my God, I've never seen anything like that before. And then Patrick Mahomes finds a way to win those football games. And you can't coach that. You can't teach that. You can't create that. That is a God-given ability that this guy has.
No, I mean, it's, what do you keep referencing in this new era of a show, the nut cutting time?
Yeah, nut cutting time.
This is when they get cut, baby.
Yeah.
This is when, we were talking about last night, you watch the Denver Broncos. What did that prove to you? They can win when Bo Nix has a terrible game.
Yeah.
What did you say, Megan? Wasn't his best game, worst game of the year? 247 or something like that?
I mean, at least
270.
The first interception you look at, that was a hell of a play by the defensive back to come over the top and punch that ball up in the air. That was... Wow, that was a great play by the defensive back.
That's fair. It was a great play
on that one. But you have to know how to play big in big moments. You can't let the moment consume you. And Patrick Mahomes has never been consumed by the moment. There are so many athletes that when those lights get really, really bright and it's not noon on a Sunday anymore, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle it. Or if you're like Josh Allen, how would you like to go into a game against the Chiefs in January knowing in the back of your mind every single year you find a way to lose a game in January to the Kansas City Chiefs, regardless of what the situation is? That's hard to overcome because we all have those mental blocks, right, of things that, prevent you from doing things, and you have to find a way to get over that. Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to find a way to get over anything because he just does it.
Out of left tackle, what's your biggest concern going into December? Secondary?
Yeah, I think so right now.
I would say
pass rush?
Yeah. No,
pass rush I have more confidence in.
Yeah, I think Amenahu's going to be good
I think so too.
And get going. And look, Chris Jones may have gone 7 weeks without a sack, and I'm glad he answered the bell.
He did.
But Chris Jones also is one of those guys when the moment's big and you need to have a play, who makes that play? Chris Jones makes that play.
Yeah, on 3rd and 7, you need this stop. Who does it, man?
Chris Jones does it. Like, he has a knack as well for stepping up when it matters most.
Yep.
And now it's starting to matter. This team has talked about December since Andy Reid has been here and how important it is to win in December. Well, it wasn't quite December, but you needed a big moment. You needed a big play on defense. Chris Jones was that guy. He knows how to play big in big moments. For the most part, when you look at like this championship run that they've been on, there's at least one game in every postseason where Chris Jones has taken over. The Super Bowl game against the 49ers, the first one. How big was Chris Jones late in that game? The guy is the Patrick Mahomes of the defense. When the moment gets big, he gets bigger.
Is the Pittsburgh Steelers game the one that's got you the most in the month of December?
To me, it's the next game.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean that like funny and serious. Like the Chargers are that team, right? They're feeling their oats. People are liking the Chargers. Oh my God, they're going to overtake the Chiefs. All this nonsense. So for me, it's the next game of continuing to stiff arm the Chargers and put them in their place of not first.
What would be more impressive, the fact that you've clinched a playoff berth by week 13, or the fact that you win the AFC West by week 14? In a year where the AFC West has absolutely shown itself.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing, Dusty.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I do. This is not winning the AFC West 2 years ago.
No.
This is winning arguably the toughest division in football right now next to the NFC North.
Right?
And that's been the big critique. Oh, well, the Broncos. Oh, what about now? This is the second best division in football.
But let's have that conversation with Buffalo. Like, they have 6 gimme games, man.
Exactly. That division sucks.
That division hasn't been good in 3 decades. 4 decades, really, if you want to think about it.
Yeah.
The 2000s, the 2010s, and now we're in the 2020s. That's 3 decades, right? And going into a 4th decade of that team and that division just being dominated by one entity and everybody else being total and utter ass in that division. Like, there are 6 games where Buffalo just doesn't have to get out of bed.
The last 4 games for Denver, you asked why 4 and Chiefs 5. Denver gets their bye week this week.
Can you imagine that? Like,
Crazy.
They kept saying that last time. Like, God.
They get Colts at home, at Chargers, at Bengals, Chiefs at home. That's their final 4.
They should be glad they won. If they would have lost that game, that Colts game would be
That
huge.
Colts game would be for a playoff spot.
Yes.
Yeah, and it still could be. I mean, if the Colts are winning and, the head-to-head, who knows how it's all going to factor out at the end of the year. The thing is, Denver has to play Cincinnati. That's a quitting organization right now. I mean, Joe Burrow even said it at the end of the game the other day. Like, how many of these guys can we count on anymore?
Seems like a heavy incentive game as well. The Chargers, final 5. Chiefs here. Buccaneers at home. Denver, that could be a fun game, right? That could be for a playoff seed. And then at New England, at Vegas. So 3 straight tough ones for the Chargers. 3 of the next 4 for Denver, and then obviously the Chiefs, their next 5. We've done that, had that already. So gear up. I mean, this is it right here. This is why we love football, because of the month of December and then what January provides.
That's right.
But here's another one. We'll have Damon Hughes here in about 10 minutes. And could one team be responsible for back-to-back and a three-peat? I'll tell you why on the other side. 96.5 The Fan, you're home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at QC Kinetics are going to help you out. I'm sure you probably have heard that maybe you need surgery or maybe you need some kind of medication or whatnot because your joints are aching, your knees are barking, and maybe your shoulder hurts. But you know what? That may not be the case. Don't take anybody's word that says, hey, you need surgery immediately until you call my friends over at QC Kinetics, because you can say goodbye to shoulder and back pain. QC Kinetics local medical professionals are waiting for you. Their advanced protocols in regenerative medicine have helped tens of thousands of people, and I'm talking about getting that lasting relief. Imagine a new year without those achy joints, no more pain pills, and no more steroid shots. QC Kinetics uses the healing properties of your own body to attack the root cause of your pain, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. And if you've been told surgery is your only or best option, you deserve a second opinion. Find out if all natural regenerative medicine is right for you. Call QC Kinetics now, and they're also accepting appointments on Saturdays. The consultation is free, and you can use HSA and FSA dollars. So live your best life in 2025 and get started now. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we're improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com, and I look forward to working with you.
You hear that? That's the sound of another year counting down. Another year missing your revenue goal. Another year wondering why your marketing isn't more effective. Another year worried about next year. The clock is ticking, but you still have time. Time to contact the experts at Scale Marketing. Scale Marketing is a full-service marketing agency who is expert in lead generation and revenue growth. Our clients see an average of 20% growth in the first year alone, with sustained growth from there. From your traditional marketing to social media to paid search, we'll take a forensic approach, digging deep to find the root problems in your marketing strategy. Then we'll fix them fast. At Scale Marketing, we can't stop the clock, but we can change your company's future. Find out how you can make your marketing budget work harder and drive more revenue. Contact us at scalemarketing.com or call us at 833-SCALE-25. That's 833-SCALE-25.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppable, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Okay, so that's with bacon, cheese, lettuce, tomato, grilled onions, ketchup, and hold the pickles.
You know what you like. You wouldn't order your burger just any way. Why should your sports talk be any different? With Chapters on the free Odyssey app, you can choose the topics that matter to you most. Whether it's reactions, matchup previews, injury updates, or team news, quickly find what you really care about. Your football talk, your way. Download the free Odyssey app and start listening today.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at tryethos.com. That's tryethos.com.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait. Whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side 70 westbound, just a bit sluggish from 40 highway over towards the Blue Ridge cutoff. In Lee Summit, periodic slowdowns US 50 westbound from Chipman up to 470, and then 71 northbound off again on again slow from 87th to Gregory. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
All the small things add up in December when the real season begins. Green Day wrote a song called Wake Me Up When September Ends. I made a song called Wake Me Up When December Begins. I didn't, but I could.
I think that's the Chiefs anthem. Oh, yeah. It's December? Okay, let's go.
Exactly. Dan Hughes coming up in about 5 minutes, but some guy named Kurt with a K, not you, Dad. You spell yours with a C, so relax. But some guy named Kurt Benert.
Should I know who this guy is?
I don't know. I don't trust him because he's got his name twice in his full name. Kurt Benert.
Oh, yeah, Kurt Benert.
Can't trust that guy. Can't trust guys with two first names.
No, you cannot. Kurt, he's got three first names. Kurt Benert.
Yeah. Not a chance.
Kurt Benert. That sounds like three dudes at a bar, right?
Yeah, not a chance. Kurt Benert walk into a bar and have an asinine take that creates a letter written by one Bob Fesco. The floor is yours.
Yeah, so the take, I mean, Mac, you sent this to us the other day. This guy, Kurt Benert. Again, I've not heard of this guy. I don't know if he's like sitting in his mom's basement or whatever he does for a living, but he ranks his quarterbacks.
Hey, easy on the mom's basement.
Come on, man.
Yeah, but Mac's,
Come on, man.
It's different with Mac. He's got a fiance and things of that nature. In February, he'll be on his own.
Plan to get out.
He's got a plan, exactly. I don't know this Kurt Benert and what he does.
Don't move out. Don't ever move out.
For a living, yes. And so he has his Monday morning quarterback rankings, and you start to scroll down the list. He has Patrick Mahomes number 11
Excuse
on the
me?
list. Patrick Mahomes number 11 on the list.
Who's 10? I'm just curious.
Well, who's 10?
Yeah.
CJ Stroud.
Okay. All right.
This guy's full of jokes.
Who's 11?
Patrick Mahomes.
Or who's 12? Sorry.
Baker Mayfield.
Okay, so he's sandwiched between C.J. Stroud and Baker Mayfield.
That's right.
I digress.
Yeah, so his list is Josh Allen, number 1, which is hard to argue at this point in
MVP.
time.
Fair enough.
Lamar Jackson. Joe Burrow.
He's just going pure statistics this year. Then.
Stats, yeah.
Okay.
Justin Herbert, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, Jared Goff, Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford, C.J. Stroud. That rounds out your top 10.
Awesome.
And then you have Patrick Mahomes at number 11. And he says, I just finished the Josh Allen film review, and that's where I go, oh, God. The film review. These people who sit around and they review the film. Why aren't you on a coaching staff, sir? Earlier this year, I said if there were starting a franchise from scratch, I would pick Josh Allen to lead the way. Who's not going to people going to argue that? I mean, if you Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, fine. I'm doubling down on that. We are seeing the best form of Josh to date. Again, It's in the regular season. So Max sends this, and I respond back, okay. And then I decided to pen a letter to Mr. Kurt Benert, who I don't know who that is. Dear Kurt, your film study sucks. Patrick Mahomes is 11-1 with no left tackle. He's won 2 straight Super Bowls with no offensive weapons. He overcame a dreadful defense to get his first AFC Championship title game in Kansas City. What the F has Josh Allen done, Kurt? Go back to your film study, nerd, and leave football for those who understand what's actually happening. Signed, Bob.
Oh, it even has your signature at the end.
There it is.
Dear Stan, I'm like you. I make bad takes too.
I mean, it's just like, it's
Guys,
yeah.
it's the season we're talking about here, not legacy. Okay.
So it just like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about season? We talking about legacy? Either way, Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the NFL. And if you're not taking him to start your franchise, well, you're probably a little messed in the head. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm arguing Josh Allen. Having a great year.
MVP.
But if you're starting a franchise, no one is taking Josh Allen over Patrick Mahomes. Because, again, what matters most is what you do in the playoffs, what you do in January, what you do in February. Can you win the big game? Patrick Mahomes is 15-3 in the postseason when it matters most. And one of those losses was that Super Bowl loss where they had no offensive line. Another loss was to Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game where they had no defense. And then that third loss, obviously the Bengals loss, is the bad one in all there. And that is the outlier in all of that. But I just can't sit here and somebody who I don't know if they're of sane mind and body, Dusty. I really don't. Picks Patrick Mahomes as the 11th best quarterback in the NFL today. Even if Patrick Mahomes isn't having his best season, there are not 10 quarterbacks in the NFL that are better than Patrick Mahomes. I don't care how good Jaden Daniels has looked for half a season.
Yeah.
You're not picking him over Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes' last 5 games, by the way, Bob.
Yeah.
1,328 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 picks. Hey, Don. Let's get to Damon Hughes.
You hear him on game days in the booth.
Quickly, they get chunky and funky with stretching the fields vertically.
And Thursday nights at 6 during Players Only.
Spitfire, hot fire take.
Here's Chiefs Radio Network color analyst Damon Hughes on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
That's right. Damon Hughes joins us here on Fesco and Dusty, brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefits of blue. Mr. Damon Hughes, how are you on this chilly little Tuesday morning?
Doing all right, fellas. How are you guys' holiday weekend? Hopefully everything went well and went down nicely on Thursday with all the, what do you got, leftovers? How long do leftovers last in you guys' world? Is it into Saturday?
I will tell you this. We had some leftovers in the fridge yesterday. I opened it up and I almost puked. Like I just can't with the food anymore. On Thanksgiving, I had to get myself a salad.
I understand.
We took it to the game on Friday. We took the leftovers to the game on Friday and used that for tailgate items, which worked out well. But I mean, I'm done with the Thanksgiving food, man. I'm done with it.
Yeah. Now, so in your world, you can't go further than Saturday. Is that what you're saying? Saturday is kind of the cutoff?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for me it is. I mean, it's just we had some on Sunday that were left over, but it's too much now for me. I'm out of that business, man. Give me back to the salads and grilled chicken, please. I need help. My heart is stopping with all the butter.
I hear you, man.
I just got my tracking order. I just ordered a lifetime supply of Ozempic after this past holiday because I have 2 different families, a lot of friends. I've eaten too much food, so I can't even look at food, Dana. Just kind of like I can't look at these serious takes from people that have, Buffalo, Detroit, and yet here we go to December where Mahomes is 22-6. Dana, how important, from experience, how important does that locker room and that roster get now that December hits in a season where you've got a lot to chase?
It's very important. I think, we've become accustomed here, and I don't know if it's spoiled. We always talk about there's a generation of kids, a generation of teenagers, I guess, now that believe that this is normal. And, unfortunately, we know the opposite. But at the same time, being spoiled now, we recognize that September football is cool, October football is okay, November, that's when it starts getting real, and then December is when the magic is supposed to happen, and that's what we've been leading up to. I think putting ourselves in a position, every game has been about entertainment and putting ourselves in a position to be in a driver's seat come December. Like, that's literally where we are in Chiefs Kingdom for the last 7 years. And that's where we are right now. So, yeah, there's some holes to fill, some concerns as far as the offensive tackles, the defense. You know, what's the identity of the defense? Was it the defense for the first 8 weeks, or is it the defense that we've seen over the past 3 weeks? I mean, so those questions are valid, but at the same time, as you mentioned, we've been excellent in the latter part of seasons, especially during this window of time. So, like, I'm not jumping off the ship. I'm not overly concerned. I think it's something that can be corrected, just like we've seen last year, the year before that, et cetera. So it's all about football. We know we're going to get the best from every team that we're playing, or at least I would say most of the teams that we're playing during this final stretch have playoff aspirations still. So they have a lot of incentive to beat the champs.
Yeah, and 4 of the 5 teams that we play down the stretch are already in the playoffs. The Chargers, the Texans, the Steelers, the Broncos, they're all playoff teams. The only one that isn't is Cleveland. We saw last night. They're not backing down to anybody at this point in time. They don't care. They're out there, having fun. But I want to get from your perspective, because obviously you played the game at this level, so you may have some sort of feel on this. Like DJ Humphries, I mean, it's like an 18-part question. What should we expect? How quickly is it going to take time to acclimate? Like all that stuff. Like, where should we be with DJ Humphries from a fan standpoint going into this week?
I think what we can expect, I don't know, conventionally thinking, not overly thinking it, but someone that's serviceable. I feel like in this day and age, you're not having full-speed practices. Obviously, there's no two-a-days. There's no live periods like there were back in the days. So you're going to get a guy that, for the most part, his live action is going to come in the game. As much as they practice, as much as he may have some individual time, you may have a practice squad guy here or there, give him some live reps during practice. But for the most part, his live reps on a consistent basis will come on the field. And to expect him to be Willie Roaf, that's not going to happen. But at the same time, can he be better than what we've had? I'm sure of that. So, that's where the upgrade happens. I think on the opposite side with Jawan Taylor, a lot of those things are just focus-driven, lining up, not allowing the defense to get inside your head where you're trying to get every advantage off the line of scrimmage and you wind up not lining up on the line of scrimmage. Those are things that are correctable. Those are more mental than physical. But as far as DJ Humphries, I feel like just his insertion into this lineup will be a boost overall, especially for Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick, he's human. If you realize that somebody is, going to be a heat-seeking missile on your backside, and you have no recourse. You can't do anything about it yourself. All you can do is just wait and hope for the best. That affects you, no matter how great you are. So I feel like Patrick will get an infusion of energy just knowing that there's a more than serviceable guy with a lot of incentive, with a lot of dog, a lot of fight in him, that's going to be back there to protect them.
I was watching Baldy's breakdown of this game the other day in the carpool lane, Dana, and picking up the kids at school, which is hell on earth, any parent knows. And so I'm watching this breakdown of the final, 2 minutes or so before they kick the field goal to go up 19-17. And the play right before the field goal, I mean, it's like Wanye Morris just didn't even care, right? And here comes the defensive lineman right around the edge, boom, knocks Patrick Mahomes to the ground. He reacts much like he did when Kadarius Toney couldn't figure out life. And we saw how that ended Kadarius Toney. We saw Mahomes' reaction, and then all of a sudden Joe Tooney's playing outside, and now we got a new tackle in here. How much of Patrick Mahomes' reaction leads to the Chiefs going, okay, now we do have to make that change?
Oh, I definitely believe it factors in. I mean, you want to be able to support your teammates. These are guys that, you share locker room, you share bus trips, you share flights, you share away trips. You got off-season, OTA, everything that you're around each other more than you're around your actual family. So there's a component that's my brother. I don't want to show him up on TV. I don't want him showing me up. But at the same time, like, there comes a time where you're like, okay, enough is enough. And I felt like if you could read body language, it was like, okay, like, this guy is not doing it right now. And how much longer are we going to just allow this to happen? And, from a health standpoint, Patrick has to believe like I'm a punching bag right now. Like, I'm a tackling dummy right now in this circumstance, and that's not necessarily good for where we want to go and what we want to be. So the body language was real, the frustration was real, and I think if you're looking at Wanya Morris specifically, like, for me, when I'm watching it from the booth, I'm like, I just want to see like a fight. Like, I at this point, like, the technique and your drop and your kick step and which hand you punch with, all of that is great, and technique is real. But at the same time, like, I just, like, when are you going to fight? Like, when are we going to just see, like my technique is going to go out the window. I'm just going to, like, you want to brawl with me, I want to brawl with you. You feel like this is a free pass to get your sack numbers up, and I got to do something about it. And I think that's where the frustration lied, is because you didn't see that fight. You didn't see somebody battling through adversity in the way that you need them to be if you're going to be a championship football team.
I've always been a believer, talking to Dan Hughes, the color commentator for the Chiefs radio network, that you can hear their games on 106.5 The Wolf and 96.5 The Fan here with us on Fesco and Dusty. Dan, I've always been a believer in in-house competition. I know you were in a position where competition in-house is always fierce. You bring in a guy at left tackle this time of the season with an 11-1 record. You say you want to see some fight in Wanya Morris. Can this sort of addition by DJ Humphries kind of gut check him and be like, okay, I've been, pretty bad. I need to do better. And now they're bringing a guy to, substitute my play for his. Can that kind of wake up somebody that maybe needs to be woken up a little bit, like you said?
It can. I think there's been multiple examples throughout this season where it probably should have already happened. And let's face it, Wanya Morris is only in his second year. Mm-hmm. Kingsley Suamataia is only in his rookie year. Like, these guys are still young. We're not saying that they are done as NFL players. They can't play, be serviceable offensive linemen in the future. Some people develop quicker than others. Some people, it takes a little while. But the point in bringing a DJ Humphries in is, like, you want to be able to stir something up. Like, you want to be able to stir a guy up somehow, some way. When I played, we brought in Webster Slaughter. We brought in Eric Martin. We brought in receivers, seems like constantly we brought in, Deshaun LaChapelle. We brought in somebody, even though we had a core group of guys, there was always a little bit of a revolving door with other guys, and maybe it was used as a motivation technique for us to stay on top of our game. I don't know personally, but I do know that it didn't do the opposite. Like, it didn't make me go into a shell and get into the fetal position and have me sucking my thumb. No, it made me go out there and battle. And I think if you are at this level in the NFL and you got the fight or flight, you got the barbecue or mildew, you got to do something when that adversity shows itself. And coaches, really good coaches like we have here in Kansas City, they know how to poke the bear. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you got to decide what kind of bear you're going to be. You're going to be a teddy bear or a grizzly bear. Yeah. You get poked.
Did you bring up Sean LaChapelle?
That's where it is.
Did you bring up Sean LaChapelle's name because you saw somebody in the upper deck with a Sean LaChapelle jersey on at the game on Friday? Be honest.
I did not, but okay. Sean LaChapelle was a cool dude, but he did replace me one game. The only game that I was inactive my entire career was against the Packers at home. I want to say it was 1995, and he replaced me in that game. And I had a shouting match. Yes, that's what I remember. Yep. Yeah, and he was drafted with me same year, So there was a lot of comparisons. But yeah, that was the one time that I got very disrespectful with my coach and Marty Schottenheimer because of that decision. Thankfully, it didn't end my career. He appreciated it. But yeah, that's why that name came out.
But it made you, I don't know, maybe it made you find that extra gear that maybe you needed at the time. Is that fair to say?
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like at that point, like we had drafted Mark Vanover, we had Lake Dawson and Chris Penn, who were drafted the year before that, and it seemed like that was a point where I could fight, or I can just go and kind of cower away and sit in my locker and feel bad about myself. And I think not just because I stood up to Marty, actually, literally pregame, like 15 minutes before kickoff, I'm in there in a yelling match with Marty about him, deactivating me for the game because I felt like I was healthy enough with my hamstring. And I feel like there's a part of me when I walked out of that office that he appreciated more because I was willing to fight. I wouldn't necessarily tell any guys to go into Andy Reid's office and do that, but it worked for me. And I think some guys, you just have to be able to, when they get pushed to that level, you want to see how they're going to come out. Are they just going to, like, is Wanya Mars, was he okay with Joe Tooney moving out to tackle and Mike Caliendo coming in and playing guard? Like, what was his mindset? What was his body?
And gone, Damon Hughes.
What was his body?
Yeah.
Well, we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll have to have Mac text Dane and be like, hey, we lost you, but love you. Thank you for the insight. I do love that.
No, it's Derek Johnson all over again when Todd Haley benched him. And DJ doesn't like Todd Haley, but said it was the best thing in his career that happened for him by getting benched because he had to fight back and turned into the number one tackler in the franchise history because of that. So it all depends on how you learn so much more from your losses, as we always say, than blowing out somebody 40-10. You lose your job in December in the NFL. You got a lot of soul searching to do.
That was Damon Hughes, brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue. Coming up on the other side, one team responsible for another team being successful when it matters. I'll explain. 96.5 The Fan, your home, Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, my friend Dawn Sharp is selling houses in Kansas City like it's nobody's business. Her team and herself are just unbelievable. And you want to make your winning move by contacting the Sharp Homes team. Working with the Sharp Homes team made the difference for a recent first-time home buyer. Even from out of town, they found a home they loved within budget. And thanks to the team's expert guidance and dedication, despite a few bumps along the way, Dawn Sharp's team helped them navigate every challenge, finding solutions that kept their dream of home ownership on track. With the Sharp Homes team by their side, they successfully purchased their new home and couldn't be more grateful for the support, care, and commitment that made it all possible. And that's why I tell you all the time, contact the only agent I would trust if I needed to sell my home. It's Dawn Sharp with the Sharp Homes team, brokered by Epic Realty. Dawn and her team will bring you the most buyers. You're going to be working with an agent that you know you can trust because they've helped thousands of families like you turn challenges into solutions. The Sharp Homes team can also give you options. Do you want to skip the showings and open houses and go straight to sold? Well, contact them to discuss their instant offer program. You can Google them, Sharp Homes Team. There you'll see from over the 200 five-star Google and Zillow reviews and understand why Dawn and her team are selling a home on average every 72 hours. Or just visit them at homesforsaleinkc.com. That's homesforsaleinkc.com and start packing.
Thanks, Bob. We're here with Doug the Elf, asking about the hottest holiday gifts of the year. Doug, what's on your list?
Yeah, we're getting Missouri lottery scratchers and draw games. We came all the way from the North Pole.
They don't have lottery tickets there?
Now, Missouri lottery tickets, they created a new millionaire every 8.1 days last year. Woohoo! I just won!
But I thought that was a gift.
Well, yeah, for me.
You heard it here first. Scratchers and draw games from the Missouri Lottery make great gifts for the holidays. Play it forward and play responsibly. Back to you in the studio.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct.
a stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer, or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Are you looking for a new job where you can have tons of fun and make great money? Twin Peaks is the team for you. We're looking for Twin Peaks girls, cooks, bussers, barbacks, and more. Text WORK, the number 4, TP to 85000 to apply today.
Shop Dell Technologies Cyber Monday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Cyber Monday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Shop Black Friday deals now at Lowe's. Get up to 50% off select major appliances, plus take an additional 10% off when you buy select major appliances. And get 2 free select tools with purchase of a select combo kit or battery kit from brands like Cobalt, Craftsman, and DeWalt. Hurry and shop these savings only for a limited time because Lowe's knows deals. Valid 11/28 through 12/4. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf. Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com and tune into the inaugural season beginning January 7th. Keep up, it's golf.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at tryethos.com. That's tryethos.com.
When I wake up, the best mornings in the morning light start with Wrangler. I pull on my jeans and I feel alright. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side inbound 70 slows around Little Blue Parkway, stays off again, on again, sluggish out past the Blue Ridge. Cut off Lee Summit, US 50 westbound, slow rolling from 291 south up to 470. 71 northbound, slow now from Bannister up towards Gregory. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Back here on 96.5 The Fan. Thanks, Dan Hughes, who joined us. If you missed it, check out the podcast. We'll play some stuff he had earlier. Like I said, in-house competition can sometimes work. Sometimes losing to a division team that is not worthy of your praise can also work. You guys remember how you felt last Christmas Day? Just imagine how this team felt last Christmas Day. Gutted, bottom of the floor, Gonna miss out on the 1 seed.
Did you watch that whole game last year on Christmas Day, or were you like me and went at halftime and started making something to eat?
No, I was there.
Oh, you were there at the game.
I watched a 6-year-old walk out, bawling his eyes out, saying Christmas was ruined.
So did you stay for the whole game?
Oh, yeah.
You did. Okay.
Yeah, I don't leave games.
Yeah.
Why? You know, it was the Raiders and the Chiefs. I know that the Chiefs didn't really do anything, and it was a flat game.
Oh, yeah, that's a great way to put it. Flat is right on that one.
But again, I mean, you look at what that game did last year. It awoke a sleeping giant.
Yep.
We saw this game last week, or I guess Friday. Seems like forever ago. Time flies when you're having fun. The Chiefs won 19-17. Not one person on that Chiefs roster was happy.
Apparently,
Mahomes
Kelsey was pissed after the game.
didn't smile. His girl was in attendance. Didn't smile off the field. Didn't high five anybody. Went straight into the locker room. Changed. Got out. Pissed. Sometimes wins can feel like losses. I think that was one for the Chiefs. Again, they escaped with a victory, 19-17. But again, it was the Raiders. And sometimes getting broken into 1,000 pieces can make you build yourself up stronger when you take time to put it back together and make sure you don't fizzle away. The Raiders do that to the Chiefs again this year. Now, it's not a loss. It doesn't leave you with like a total gut-wrenching feeling, but judging by the demeanor and the morale of that team after that game against the Raiders, it seemed like maybe this was one of those wake-up calls. And again, you look at yourself and you think maybe you're in your car driving like, Dusty, this team doesn't need a wake-up call. They're 11. Yeah,
no, they need a wake-up call.
Look, we're in the grunt of the season where now like everything shifts, right? Like now, yes, there are games to be played, but some teams can't lose or they're out. Some teams, if they lose, they miss out on seeding and they have to play a matchup that maybe they don't want to play in the playoffs. That's happening for everybody now. And as I mentioned earlier, Mahomes' last 5 games, 1,328 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. His next 5 opponents obviously will be the Chargers, the Browns, the Houston Texans, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and those Denver Broncos who played last night. Patrick Mahomes goes into December with a 22-6 record. Here we go.
Well, it's imagine what those numbers could be if they had a left tackle, for the better part of the season. And now hopefully they're getting one that's going to be better. And as Danon said earlier, it's not hard to be better than Wanya Morris was, right? I mean, he was not very good out there, but that's where it all starts and ends. And we now need to take that Raider game and crumble that thing up and move on, because that's what they're doing with this thing. I can tell you from just the conversations that I had, they are pissed off after that game, and they're going to use that as motivation. But now it's on to the next game, and now it's on to this Charger team that I wasn't impressed with over the weekend, but all these teams, look, they play the Chiefs tough. So if you think because what they did against the Falcons means they're going to come in here and lay an egg on Sunday night, don't kid yourself. That's a big, big game for the Chargers. The one thing I do like that's working in the Chiefs' favor, obviously it's at home, but the Chargers, they got to go from Atlanta back to L.A. back to Kansas City. That's a lot of traveling around the country in the last 6 days or whatever it's been for the Chargers. So they've got to get on a plane again, have another long flight, come here for a Sunday night game against a crowd that I think is ready, obviously, for a blowout to see this team do their thing. It's not going to be a blowout. They'll win by 2 points, and we'll all put it in our back pocket and go, whew, we survived the Chargers, and we continue to move on. That's what it's all about at this point in the season. It's all about getting DJ Humphries ready for the postseason. It's about getting this offense clicking a little bit more with a new left tackle in place, and it's all about winning these games in December. And they will, and they'll be just fine. And we'll go into the playoffs feeling really, really good about this team. And in 68 days, we'll be getting ready for the Super Bowl.
No doubt. I mean, this is the time of year where football really does it for you. Just because of everything that you just had mentioned, everything that I had said. And, when you look at this is kind of like, I don't know if it's considered like September baseball, because obviously some teams have checked out.
Different, because the September baseball is a fallacy, in my opinion.
Well, now it's, I guess, October.
But not really, because that's the playoffs, like maybe this is August or, like that final push, because I guess now with the additional wild card, everybody's still alive in baseball, and you're not getting as many slappies getting called up to the big league level to take a couple of swings to tell their mom about. So your more teams are involved, more teams are doing less of that nonsensical September call-up crap that I think ruins baseball. And so maybe now September baseball is that way, or maybe you can look at the end of February, beginning of March, college basketball, when you're playing your way into the tournament type of time, conference tournament, time and whatnot. Tail end of an NBA season, maybe you're playing for those final couple of spots. But, I mean, this is when the Chiefs thrive, though. This is when veteran teams step it up. And the only thing that's difficult about these final 5 games, in my opinion, is that they don't have anybody that has packed their bags for Cabo yet. Like,
Cleveland, I guess.
They haven't, though, man. They've played pretty good football since Jameis Winston has been kind of their leader. They're 2-3 in the 5 games that he started, and they gave Denver everything they possibly could have handled. The week before, they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, and so
he's beat the Ravens and the Steelers. Yep.
Yeah, so it's not like they've packed their bags and cashed it in.
Playing spoiler.
They may be playing for Jameis to get the job at the quarterback position in Cleveland. Like, all the teammates like the guy, let's rally around him. But Jameis is what he is. He's a 500 quarterback and whatnot. So there's nobody on the schedule that has packed their bags and checked out yet. So there will be stiff competition, which is good because you're going to face that in January and February in the postseason. So I love these last 5 games. Let's go, man, because there's going to be a lot of people in the national media. I've already seen Dan Orlovsky say Pittsburgh's now the team to win the Super Bowl, that are going to be doubting against the Chiefs. Like, when you see them start to predict the game for this weekend, how many people you think are going to pick the Chiefs to beat the Chargers? There's going to be a lot of Charger love coming out of the national media. A lot of Charger love coming out of the national media. You know what happens when that goes on? Patrick Mahomes thrives. He writes notes. He sips tea like Kermit. He kicks your ass.
Mike Tomlin's record in the playoff is 8-10. So above 500 in the regular season, below 500 in the playoffs. So let's take a step back there, Dano. A lot of people on the text line saying, shouldn't Carolina have been the wake-up game? You guys had mentioned that Carolina could have been the wake-up. I think that's why you saw the frustration with the win of the Raiders. I think that was supposed to be the wake-up game. I don't think anybody's wrong in saying that Carolina was supposed to be that game where it's like, we did what? And then you saw them beat the Raiders in a 2-point fashion, and you saw the way that their demeanor and their attitude was after the game. Carolina was supposed to be it. It wasn't it. The Raiders is now the one that might be it, and the way that we use that is you look at last Christmas Day. They beat you. Their quarterback didn't complete a pass for the final 3 quarters of the game. Had the complete opposite effect in this past game. He threw for over 300 yards, and the Chiefs walked away with a 2-point win. So, yeah, I think that Carolina was supposed to be the one that's like, okay, what are we doing here? But I think now, you go week by week, I think now this Raiders game is the game that now they're going to be like, okay, we're heading to December. We're 11-1. Buffalo hasn't backed down. They just blew out a team in their house in a snowstorm, and Josh Allen's the MVP. Now we really have to get things in gear, and I think the Raiders can be responsible for that once again. Or maybe it's Mike Greenberg.
Or maybe it is Mike Greenberg, who's now picking, who did I say this week now? Oh, the Eagles. That's right. They're the best team in the NFL. Now, we talked yesterday.
He doesn't know which bird to choose.
This guy, like, the Ravens are never going to lose again. The Jets are going to be good, and now the Eagles are the best team in the NFL. Yesterday, I said I would take the Eagles right now over the Lions. They're playing great football right now. I mean, you had mentioned it earlier. That offensive line of Philadelphia, I'm envious, right? They're unbelievable. Saquon Barkley has reinvented himself behind that offensive line. He's made Jalen Hurts better. Their defense is getting after people, destroying people over. Like, Philadelphia is playing some really good football right now. But they're not the best team in the league, because if the Chiefs and Eagles match up again and it's Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts versus Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, you're still taking Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes every single day of the week. And that's why I think, like, we live in this week to week. And I think it was Joe Buck and Troy Aikman last night that were talking about it, or maybe it was Scott Van Pelt before, talking about the week to week nature of this league. And we all live in this week to week nature of the NFL right now. And that's what we do. We make these, snap judgments based on 1 week. But I can't say Philadelphia is the best team in the NFL right now. They're playing really good football. They're better than Detroit in the NFC, in my opinion. But I'm still not taking anybody over Kansas City until the Chiefs prove to me or to anybody that they can't get it done in the playoffs. How do you pick against this team? How do you pick against these guys?
Well, you just hope that you get it right, and you're the one guy that finally comes out and says, they're going to lose in the divisional round. See, they did. Got it right. One out of every 10 times, and then you can post your victory on Twitter.
Right.
That's why I haven't posted any winning bets lately. Been bleak. Not good. No, it's funny. I mean, people, they'll say, like, hey, the offense doesn't look the same. They're off a beat.
And Wanya Morris has gotten worse as the season has gone along. Is that fair to say?
Much worse.
And they say a text comes in and says, I'm joining the conversation, but do you guys think that fixing the left tackle issue will clean up most of our offensive struggles? And I'll tell you what I defend that as. If that left tackle issue is resolved to 75% better, that gives Mahomes that much more confidence to sit back. That lets him get his timing down with Xavier Worthy. You start to see that deep ball become more clean.
Don't have time to throw a deep ball.
And you see him not have to worry. Like, he doesn't probably need to worry as much as he does, but he's been burned before and he won't get burned again. So I think you clean up that left tackle, that blindside spot, you will see things start to move a little bit better, and you can focus more on what you need to get accomplished than being like, all right, I've got 2 seconds to get rid of this ball. I've got to find my first read. You give Mahomes a little bit more time to find that second or third read option. The offense will be significantly
Absolutely.
better.
I mean, just think about your job, right? You've got all this work piling up, and somebody comes over to you and says, hey, can I take a little bit of this off your plate where you don't have to worry about that? You say yes. They take that off your plate. You're more productive. You're better. You don't have to worry about that other stuff because now you've got somebody there that you can trust. And yes, this offense will be better because it's again, I keep going back to this Baldy breakdown I was watching yesterday. Wanya Morris stinks. Like so bad that Patrick Mahomes is running for his life before he gets the ball from the center.
He can't even complete his 3-step drop. He literally can't even get through his drop until he's already got someone in his lap. It's insane.
And that's not just one play.
No,
That's been the last, probably since the bye, really.
Yeah.
And now it got to that point where we just can't take it anymore, and it's had an impact on the entire offensive line. It's had an impact on Mahomes. It's had an impact on Andy Reid's ability to call the plays that he wants to call, and Dusty mentioned it. We haven't seen a deep ball. You know why? Because there's no time to throw the deep ball. By the time Patrick Mahomes gets the football, Xavier Worthy's 10 yards down the field, and Patrick Mahomes' face is in the dirt because Wanya Morris goes, here you go.
It literally is. It literally opens up so much more. Something as simplistic as left tackle, which I know that's kind of an oxymoron. It's not a simplistic position, but that position being 70%, 75% better opens up your offense with so many more options.
You could argue it's the second most important position in the game.
No doubt.
You can make that argument.
Protects the number one most position
exactly
in the game.
I don't think you can make that argument. I think that there's
It's
no
fair.
argument. There's no argument that left tackle spot is the second most important position on the football field.
Bob's got 2 doors to choose from when it comes to your Kansas City Royals on the other side. Which one do you pick? 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
I'll tell you what, we're headed into that season of happiness, right? And guys, you want to be happy this holiday season. And if you're suffering from ED, you may not feel real happy right now. But you know what? ED is simply a medical condition like any other. And for most men, it is fully treatable, which means you can get your sex life back. Get back the ability to enjoy intimacy without the anxiety that affects so many men who have ED. Heartland Men's Health has treatments when the pills or herbals fail. And they have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. So schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. They have an expert staff, and if you're like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They have 3 locations, Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and their new office in North Kansas City. So call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
97 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of Kansas City has been repairing and replacing garage doors. Locally owned and operated since 1927. Headquartered in Olathe. Always look for the iconic red ribbon of the genuine, the original Overhead Door Company of Kansas City. For same-day repair service 24/7, call Overhead Door Company of Kansas City, 816-221-0072, or schedule online at ohdkc.com.
The difference between real custom jewelry at House of Diamonds and so-called custom jewelry elsewhere is like the difference between painting on a blank canvas versus paint by numbers. This is Gene at House of Diamonds. In our store, you don't pick from a collection of designs. Choose from a list of options. Send it off to who knows where for 6 weeks to be tweaked and call it custom. At House of Diamonds, you and we together design and create a one-of-a-kind custom ring, pendant, earrings, or necklace. And since 100% of the work from start to finish is done right here in our shop, we can deliver real custom jewelry and can back it with a double lifetime warranty instead of a disclaimer. One-of-a-kind, real custom jewelry, handcrafted just for you, only at House of Diamonds. House of Diamonds on the southeast corner of College and Quivira, and online at mybigrock.com.
Every piece of land has a story. The Upshaw's right there is with a John Deere 1 Series tractor they call Penny. And this is Shaw.
Shaw stands for skilled hands at work.
When he's not cutting grass, he's cutting hair.
So every person is different from hair type to head shape. And I feel like it's the same way in a yard.
From front loader to backhoe, the Upshaws have the tools to DIY all day long. Run with us on a 1 Series tractor and start telling your story. Learn more at johndeere.com/radio.
Chiefs coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by award-winning Johnny's Barbecue in Olathe.
Football and barbecue fans, score big with Johnny's Barbecue tailgate packages. Whether you're hosting a home gate or a tailgate, Johnny's Barbecue has you covered. Check out our tailgate packages at johnny'sbbqkc.com. Located in Olathe and serving all of KC. Johnny's Barbecue. Taste the smoke.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Jay's Southland Tow Service, Missouri side, 169 highway, very slow past 9 highway with construction taking away the right lane. Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident, call Jay's Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all, so be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
You can listen to the play-by-play of the Chiefs and Chargers game with Mitch, Danon, and Kling right here on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
If you missed it earlier, Bob Fesco wrote a letter to a guy named Kurt Benert, former backup quarterback, apparently. I have never seen a letter to a player to be suspended longer in my life than NFL Vice President of Football Operations John Runyon just issued to that young man from the Houston Texans.
Aziz Ansari?
Yeah. During your game against Jacksonville Jaguars on December 1st, with 4:20 remaining in the second quarter, you were involved in a play that the league considers unacceptable and a serious violation of the playing rules. Video shows you striking the head/neck area of Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence. After he clearly goes down in a feet-first slide, you led with your forearm and helmet and delivered a forceful blow to the head/neck area of your opponent when you had time and space to avoid such content. After the illegal hit, you proceeded to engage in a brawl, which you escalated when you pulled on an opponent down to the ground by his face mask after the referee announced that you were disqualified and for the hit and your unsportsmanlike act. You removed your helmet and renegaded with your opponent while walking down and across the field, which started another physical confrontation.
Re-engaged.
Yeah, re-engaged, renegade. Yeah, dyslexia on the field. Physical confrontation near the end zone. Your lack of sportsmanship and respect for the game of football and all those who play, coach, and enjoy watching it is troubling and does not reflect the core values of the NFL. Your continued disregard for the NFL playing rules puts the health and the safety of both you and your opponents in jeopardy and will not be tolerated. I mean, as simple, you're suspended would have been nice.
He is suspended and eligible to return following the team's Week 17 game.
Renegade. Reading too fast. He shouldn't be allowed to come back until Trevor Lawrence is able to play football.
I like that. I like that. You know, like it's the code of Hammurabi, right? An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, like they used to say back in the day. I like that. I don't hate that at all. I think that's a fair punishment. If you're going to be a jerk and you're going to do what Aziz Ansari did the other day, yeah, you should be out for as long as the guy that you blatantly injured purposefully on that play. Again, 20 years ago, and I don't want to hear it from the text line, put flags on him. 20 years ago, that was a legal hit. We don't live, Terry, in this world of 20 years ago now. We live where we are now, and they have put rules in place to preserve the health and wellness of the players, because at the end of the day, you don't want to watch backups. You want to watch the stars play. And if there are rules in place, and the stars are the quarterbacks, and if there are rules in place to protect the stars of the game, because having them on the field makes the game better and our enjoyment of the game better, I'm all for it. You can't go out there and play like that guy did. So he's suspended until the final week of the season.
Mm-hmm. You have two doors that you'd like to choose, or maybe give the option to choose for the Royals in the offseason, because Cleveland just lost another pitcher to the Cubs.
Who'd they lose?
Oh, man, what is his name? I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Oh, gosh. Not good radio.
Kurt Benert?
No, that guy's
no.
still there.
So anyway, the Cubs sign a guy away from Cleveland, and it presents itself because as we know right now, and I do mean this in all sincerity, John Sherman is willing to spend money. We have to approach the offseason now that our ownership group and our general manager are going to be active in the offseason. And they've been active. I think they've been one of the most active teams already.
Matthew Boyd, sorry.
In this offseason. I can see why he forgot his name. And also one of the more active teams last season in free agency and in the offseason. So it's fun. Like, the offseason should be fun. And so I was thinking about this yesterday. Not a lot going on at Kauffman Stadium right now as they, finish up plans for their new ballpark. But John Sherman, and I want to put you in the moment, right? I want to put you in this moment. JJ's sitting in his office doing whatever it is, and maybe getting the charcuterie ordered for winter meetings next week or whatever the case may be. And John Sherman calls JJ and says, "Hey, I'm going to come down to your office. I got to tell you something." And okay, starts to sweat a little bit. What's going to happen? Here comes the owner. And as John approaches, JJ realizes he's probably going to give him that budget, that dreaded budget for the offseason, right? Well, JJ's wrong on that one. John says to JJ, "You can sign one player this offseason. Make it a good choice." And John leaves. JJ thinks to himself, I need a middle-of-the-order bat, but I could also use another rotational arm. What should I do? JJ wonders aloud. Well, we need a bat, but pitching is the lifeblood of any team. So I ask you, if you're JJ, what are you doing? Because, oh, by the way, John did give you a budget. About $35 million you get to spend on the contract, but it can only go to one player. Are you taking somebody like Walker Buehler, who's now available? Are you taking Anthony Santander? Those could be your two options. What are you doing? You get $35 million, but it has to go to one player. Who are you taking? The pitcher or the bat?
I think because of recency bias, I take the pitcher.
Oh, see, I would go recency bias, and I would take the bat.
Because you've added your leadoff hitter already,
right,
unless this doesn't count in the scenario. But
it does, yeah.
Which was one of the key things you needed. You did lose Brady Singer,
right?
And you do bring back Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha, who are a year older and are coming off pretty damn good years. Seth Lugo obviously named the pitcher of the year for the Royals organization. If you could pad up that rotation to give me 4 solid options at starting pitching going into the offseason and going into the next season, I would think because of what the pitching was last year and the way the defense plays, that's where I would go.
You would go that route.
I would go that route just because pitching always beats batting when it comes to the time when it matters.
It does, except for this year in the playoffs, we needed that bat, man.
Because pitching beat them.
Yeah, but if you have a better bat in the lineup, maybe you give yourself a better opportunity.
Maybe.
Like once Bobby Witt and Sal got through the line, there was nobody else in that lineup. I mean, your best hitter in the postseason was Yuli Gurriel.
Yeah, I mean, and Bobby Witt was a little, maybe starstruck in the lights. I don't know. His first year in the playoffs. I'm not going to judge him for
maybe
his
the moment was
career.
too big. I don't know.
First time ever in the playoffs.
Right.
I mean, it's been that way for Aaron Judge forever, and that's a bat, right?
That's right. That is a bat.
Garrett Cole was better than Aaron Judge in the playoffs.
Yes, but is Walker Buehler like a guy that you're going to get as like your 4 in the rotation?
I mean, if that's the case, sign me up for an ALCS visit. I'll buy my tickets now.
With Walker Buehler?
Yes.
Yeah, I like him too.
Well,
I know he's coming off Tommy John, but yeah, exactly, right? Yeah.
Well, I guess it was it Walker Buehler? No, wasn't Walker. Who was the guy that beat them in the playoffs over and over and over again? Wasn't it Walker Buehler?
In the playoffs,
in the World Series, he closed out the World Series. So much football's gone on.
I know, it really has.
Yeah,
it's been 50 days since the World Series. The Yankees have won more games in the last 50 days than the Jets and Giants combined.
Yeah, I mean it's insane. But I mean, the Dodgers are an anomaly. But like, look at that pitching staff they have now.
Yeah.
After they went and got Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto. Like, they have all those guys. Yes, they have the insane amount of lineup money that they have as well. But like, you could take the Royals lineup and use the Dodgers starting rotation, and the Royals would win 100 games.
A lot of 2-1 type of games. Yeah.
Because you have that defense, you have the superstar, and you put all those guys together on that rotation, and that team is disgusting. And that's why the Dodgers, I get it, they had Freddie Freeman, they had Mookie Betts, they had Shohei Ohtani, but that team was dynamite because even when that pitching rotation was hurt severely badly, they still had guys that could step up and pitch, and that's what they did in the playoffs.
Are you taking the pitcher more as an insurance policy, or are you taking it more as you need pitching to win in the postseason?
Yes.
Okay.
You look at 2 years ago's Royals roster. That pitching staff was terrible.
Right.
Right? And then you look at this year, 30 games improvement. Why? Because they had 27 quality starts and their first 35 starts for pitchers.
Yeah.
You could go out there and give the ball to a guy and say, hey, we got you. We're only going to score about 3 runs, but you're only going to give up 2. I'll take my chances every time with the rotation over a big bat.
And that's fair.
But there's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
Santander in right field hitting bombs at Kauffman Stadium, which I don't know if that would happen. But again, you add an insurance bat to your 5th spot in the lineup. Michael Massey's now hitting 6th. Your lineup's a little bit better.
A little bit better, yeah. And nobody has a good 7, 8, and 9 in their lineup. So if you could be really strong 1 through 6 and not have a hole there, all of a sudden now you're thinking, okay, we've got 6/9 of our lineup that is a legit lineup, just like every team in baseball. 7, 8, 9 is terrible, but if you can have 1 through 6 that you can count on, legitimately count on, not hope and count on, it makes a big difference. And so I still think a bat's a big need for this team. I think Alec Marsh is going to be your 5th guy again going into this season. And so you're looking for that 4th guy. But hell, if you could sign Walker Buehler to be your 4th guy and forgo a bat, okay, maybe you decide to go that route as well.
There's
good options, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. There's a new guy joining the roster for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's got a tough task coming up, but how good can he actually be? We'll discuss next on what the left tackle position means for one DJ Humphries here on Fesco and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I tell you, if you don't want to start the new year going with, oh, my back hurts, oh, my muscles or my joints hurt, then you need to listen up and you need to get some relief from my friends over at QC Kinetics. Take action now to get the pain relief you deserve for 2025. Call QC Kinetics now and say goodbye to shoulder and back pain. QC Kinetics local medical professionals are waiting for you. Their advanced protocols in regenerative medicine have helped tens of thousands of people, and we're talking about lasting relief. Imagine a new year without those achy joints. No more pain pills, no more steroid shots. QC Kinetics uses the healing properties of your own body to attack the root cause of your pain, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. This is the future of medicine. And if you've been told surgery is your best or only option, you deserve a second opinion. Find out if all natural regenerative medicine is right for you. Call QC Kinetics now. They're accepting appointments on Saturdays as well, and the consultation is free. Plus, you can use HSA and FSA dollars. Live your best life in 2025 and get started now. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
When it comes to beef, nothing tops world-class highly marbled Wagyu. Booth Creek Wagyu's Overland Park Meat Market is ready to elevate your beef. Their farm-to-fork commitment brings this intensely rich and flavorful beef from the tall grass prairies north of Manhattan, Kansas, directly to your table. Stop into the store to see what our customers are calling the jewelry store of beef and taste the difference. Our in-store experts are sampling freshly seared Wagyu 7 days a week. Located in the shops at Deer Creek Woods at 135th and Metcalf.
Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig, an absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more. Please drink responsibly.
Football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown, and he throws a block, and his teammate scores instead. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
This is the story of the one.
As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. Your boxes are wrapped and the gifts are in. Our employees are ready. Let the holiday ride begin. Let's start with the price. It's easy to manage when you ship with the reliable USPS Ground Advantage. In just a few days, it's sure to arrive. We're working nonstop to keep the spirit alive. USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Visit USPS.com/advantage.
Shop Black Friday deals now at Lowe's. Get up to 50% off select major appliances. Plus, take an additional 10% off when you buy select major appliances. And get 2 free select tools with purchase of a select combo kit or battery kit from brands like Cobalt, Craftsman, and DeWalt. Hurry and shop these savings only for a limited time because Lowe's knows deals. Valid 11/28 through 12/4. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
29 southbound slows around 169 highway. Past that, sluggish from Armour across the Bond Bridge. 169 highway southbound, pretty heavy south of 9 highway, where construction eventually takes away the right lane. That bottleneck keeps you quite slow. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Diving right back into it here on 96.5 The Fan. Glad to have you on a Tuesday. Still looks like a snow globe out there. Supposed to be kind of warm for Sunday's game, even though it's going to be at night, so it'll probably get down to like 30-something. But I think I saw a couple days in Saturday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday in the 50s.
I think tomorrow's supposed to be in the 50s, too.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't in the 50s this morning.
Ooh, cold out there today.
Bob Fesco, Mac Morey, Dusty Lyans with you on 96.5 The Fan. Chiefs Chargers Sunday night football. Boo, boo. Nobody likes Sunday night football.
Yeah.
It sucks. Play that game at noon. But no, I think it's interesting because it will be the first time that we will see DJ Humphries, and he will be playing left tackle. I believe we'll find out more information, obviously, as Andy Reid speaks to the media tomorrow. You can hear that on, I believe it'll be Gold and Drew. You can hear them from 10 to 2. But this was Damon Hughes who joined us earlier on the expectations for one DJ Humphries.
I think what we can expect, I don't know, conventionally thinking, not overly thinking it, but someone that's serviceable. I feel like in this day and age, you're not having full-speed practices. Obviously, there's no two-a-days. There's no live periods like there were back in the days. So you're going to get a guy that, for the most part, his live action is going to come in the game. As much as they practice, as much as he may have some individual time, you may have a practice squad guy here or there, give him some live reps during practice. But for the most part, his live reps on a consistent basis will come on the field. And to expect him to be Willie Roaf, no, that's not going to happen. But at the same time, can he be better than what we've had? I'm sure of that.
So that Damon Hughes on the acquired left tackle. Now, again, I bring this up, and Max got a good point about this as well, Bob. The defensive line, or the main guys on the defensive line moving forward in the next 5 games, all some notable names. Denver, we just faced. We know that defensive line. You saw the guys that just played last night against Cleveland. They gave Jameis Winston a run for his money. I know he threw for 500 yards or 497, but still, Myles Garrett is one. T.J. Watt is another. Will Anderson Jr., Joey Bosa, all up on the come for the Chiefs defensive line for one. DJ Humphries, who will be tested right out of the chute in the gridiron.
Welcome to the NFL, Mr. Humphries. Enjoyed your year off. Here you go. I mean, it's a gauntlet coming right after you and coming after Patrick Mahomes, and your job is to stop some of the best pass rushers in the game today over the next 5 games. Got it? You good? Okay, good. Ready to go. But what I like about this move is it really shows how much leadership, ownership, Patrick Mahomes really has in this team. Because, like I said, I was watching the Baldy breakdown, and I saw the play right before the field goal, and Mahomes goes nuts. He was absolutely broken by this teammate. This is the second year in a row now where we've seen an individual teammate break Patrick Mahomes. Last year, Kadarius Toney, with the way Patrick Mahomes acted after that Buffalo game. That wasn't frustration with the refs or John. That was frustration with Kadarius Toney not knowing how to line up properly. And then this week, we saw a similar reaction. Not as much as showing up Kadarius Toney, but enough where you saw Patrick Mahomes visibly react and get ticked off at Wanya Morris, whereas the next play on offense, Wanya Morris was nowhere to be found. This team will respond, and this organization will respond to their quarterback. When he's had enough, that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. And Patrick Mahomes has had enough with Wanya Morris. We've all had enough with Wanya Morris out there. But it took the quarterback having that reaction, because they didn't do anything until he did. When he had that reaction, he said, that's it, I'm done. That's when Joe Thuney moved outside and Caliendo moved to guard, and all of a sudden you had a different-looking offensive line, and now DJ Humphries will be the starter on Sunday. So it took Patrick Mahomes' teammate to break his hope for the second year in a row before we saw that change, and now we have a change. And Patrick Mahomes isn't the only one that Wanya Morris broke. There are other people in that organization, I know for a fact, that were broken by Wanya Morris, and their hope was broken by Wanya Morris to the point where they're like, we're doing something. I don't care who it is. This guy is not playing anymore. And so they got to that point, and I think that lifeblood of having DJ Humphries in there is going to have such a great effect on the 4 other offensive linemen, where they're going to go, okay, I can focus on my job. I can do my thing now. I don't have to worry about trying to help this guy who's doing nothing to help himself.
Well, I mean, you mentioned that ripple effect for the last few weeks, right? Now everyone's thinking a little bit extra. They're not worrying about their job and what they have to do and their individual responsibilities. Dude, just a couple of plays with DJ Humphries being serviceable, which was what Dana mentioned he can do right off the bat, which is going to be atmosphere's difference than what we've seen this past month. Just a couple plays of having serviceable next to you, I think we will see those ripple effects have the positive effect of, oh, now Joe Thuney's worried about his job. Now Trey Smith, a little less jitters.
Not
the
worried
false
about
start.
his job, worried about doing his
worrying
job.
About doing his job,
right.
Not worrying about doing someone else's. And you've got Jawan Taylor, okay, now I'm playing a little bit better, man, and worrying about the fundamentals a little bit less and just kind of playing football and worrying about being intense, and I think you're going to see those positive ripple effects right off the bat. You know, you look at the guys who he's going to have to face. Obviously, Dusty mentioned it. It is a gauntlet, but I think the positive side is that ZJ's looking at it going, I've seen what this guy Wanya's done for the last 4 weeks. I just have to be okay, and it's going to have such a good effect on this team. They've won with ass at left tackle. If he's just fine, I mean, this team's going to be, I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, it's going to be the best offense in football in January.
Yeah,
I believe that. And best offense in football.
I'm 100%, you just gave me goosebumps. I'm 100% bought into that, because that's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they do. Not in September and October and November.
Nope, doesn't matter.
It's January. That's when they turn it on. And you heard that sigh of relief. That was Joe Thuney, too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about what he's had to go through over the last month or so of the season, knowing the guy next to him may be his friend, but he stinks. And I got to try to cover for this guy and do this and that and the other thing, and we're keeping guys into chip.
Yeah.
We're not putting running backs out in patterns. We're dumbing it all down because this guy can't figure it out. That guy's no longer there.
Now Jawan Taylor's going to be like, damn it, now I'm going to be the
I'm going to be the guy.
That's true. Shoot, dude, can you keep this guy on the team? No.
Where's 74?
Step it up.
No doubt. You talk about the ripple effect, too, and you said what? Wanya Moore's been really bad, the last 5 games?
Feels like it, right? I don't know.
Bad,
but, I mean, like, for me, it's been the last 3 games that I've, like, really since I don't know, maybe since that Denver game, so the last maybe 4 games or so, you kind of look at it and go, but what the hell do I know? I'm not paying that much attention to an offensive
You talk
line.
about a ripple effect. Here's Mahomes' numbers the last 5 games. Yardage-wise, 13-28. Touchdowns, 11. Interceptions, 2. That's with 4 offensive linemen.
Yeah. I mean, imagine having 5.
So you talk about the ripple effect. Now they can run offensive plays that, take maybe 1 to 2 seconds longer. Now they can run plays where it's like, okay, we can start to incorporate this sort of stuff into our offense because now we have a guy that can block a little bit longer than what we've had at left tackle. Now my confidence is up. And once you get Patrick Mahomes' confidence up, sit back and watch the world burn. Because again, 13-28, 11 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions in his last 5 games. He's 9th in the league in yards. By the end of this weekend, he could be top 5 in yards and top 5 in touchdowns.
For the season?
For the season.
Wait a second. I've been told by, what was that guy's name? Kyle Benekyle or whatever his name was?
Yeah, that was it.
He said to me that on X that Patrick Mahomes is the 11th best quarterback in the NFL. And you're telling me, Dusty, by using logic, that Patrick Mahomes could be a top 5 passer in the NFL. Yeah. But Kyle Benekyle said that it was.
That's right.
He's the 11th best quarterback
according to
in
stats.
the NFL.
So like right now, he's currently 9th in passing yards. He's 3 total yards behind Jared Goff, 4 yards behind Matthew Stafford. He's 55 yards behind Baker. So if he's 56 yards better than Baker this weekend, he is then 5th in the league in passing yards.
Wow.
He is 3 touchdowns away. He could throw for 3. I know the Chargers defense is good. He could throw for 3 against that Chargers defense, and then that would put him in the top 5 in touchdowns thrown in the NFL. In the NFL. I'm not even talking about the AFC. Just
So
in the
not
NFL.
top 5 on his team in touchdown passes? But he's not having a good year.
Yeah, he sucks.
That's what Kevin said.
Whose standards are held higher, Mahomes or the Chiefs?
That's an interesting question because I think it's both.
It's both.
No, it is. It is. Like,
both.
To me,
like Mahomes ruined his legacy
in year
by
1
throwing 5,050 touchdowns in his first year. It's like, that's the ceiling.
Right.
Got to see it every year.
Oh, that's the floor for a lot of people.
And he's thrown 5,000 yards twice. He's won 2 MVPs. And I get it. This year hasn't looked the greatest, but he didn't have anything at left tackle.
They're 11-1.
Exactly. He didn't have anything at left tackle. He's got to fear his blind side. And yet, after this weekend, he could literally be top 5 in passing yards and top 5 in touchdowns in the NFL.
But they're 11-1, and he's not played his best.
But the Chiefs are 11-1, and they look like they're getting lucky.
Right. That's what people are saying, lucky. So I think the answer to that question is who has the higher standard. The answer is they both have the same standard set for them, that no matter what they do, in the eyes of some folks, it won't be enough.
That's fair.
Won't be enough. No matter what they do, it won't be enough because you do have amnesia patients that think it's 2018 still from a Patrick Mahomes standpoint. And people also think that you're never supposed to stub your toe along the way in the regular season or have tough tests when we're coming
again last
I
night.
mean, we're coming off a week where we have 12 of the games that were played this week in the NFL were within 1 score.
Yeah.
12 of the games played in the NFL this week were in 1 score, and we were close to having a 13th last night until Jameis Winston threw another pick 6. And I think he just threw another one.
And to be fair, November's over, folks. Like, the NFL season begins.
Yeah.
Like, the real ones are here and will stay here, and the fake, the pyrite, the fool's gold people, you'll be exposed.
Yeah.
That's what December does. It
does.
exposes the real ones.
Yeah.
Like, let's see what Pittsburgh looks like. They have a ton of conference games. Let's see how they play. Baltimore, your back's against the wall. Everyone's doubting you now, and everyone thought you were the best team. Let's see what you do now. Buffalo, you don't have any breathing room. Kansas City, you don't have any breathing room.
No.
Hell, Detroit, you don't have any breathing room.
The Lions have no breathing room right now.
They are literally at a point where they could still not win their division, and they're 11-1. That's insane.
I mean, think about the Lions not having home field advantage and taking the ability of playing inside in a nice environment and having to go to Philadelphia for that championship game instead.
I mean, literally the last game they will play outdoors will be December 30th if they control the 1 seed and have the first round bye. And that last game in December is in San Francisco.
That doesn't really count as outdoors.
I mean, it's like, how do you want to get into it? But yeah, their last game outside of a dome is in San Francisco on December 30th. Insane.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a big stretch for the Lions. It's a big stretch. All these teams that are on top, man, the top 4 seeds in this thing right now, Buffalo, Kansas City, Detroit, and Philadelphia, is a big final 5 weeks of the regular
season. And you've
season.
got Minnesota knocking on the door.
Right.
You've got Indianapolis trying to backdoor cover the South over the Houston Texans. Atlanta's hanging around barely in there.
I mean, Pittsburgh's still technically alive for the 1 seed at this point in time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, you could look at the Chiefs' schedule right now, the next 5 games, and arguably say there's 3 losses on that schedule. I know that's tough to say out loud and tough to hear, but the Chargers could beat you.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know why they couldn't. They probably won't, but Pittsburgh could beat you on Christmas Day in their yard.
Doubt. They don't have
right?
to travel. You both are obviously coming off the short week on Saturday, but Pittsburgh doesn't have to go anywhere. Traveling on that short week, man, that adds
and that's
a
in
wrinkle.
that stretch where you play 3 games in 10 days.
That's
so
right.
I mean, it's tough. We asked Dan Hughes what he had seen in Wanye, and he said there's something that he hasn't seen.
I think if you're looking at Wanye Morris specifically, like for me, when I'm watching it from the booth, I'm like, I just want to see like a fight. Like I, at this point, like the technique and your drop and your kick step and which hand you punch with, all of that is great and technique is real. But at the same time, like I just like, when are you gonna fight? Like when are we gonna just see like my technique is gonna go out the window? I'm just gonna like, you want to brawl with me? I want to brawl with you. You feel like this is a free pass to get your sack numbers up, and I got to do something about it. And I think that's where the frustration lied, is because you didn't see that fight. You didn't see somebody battling through adversity in the way that you need them to be if you're going to be a championship football team.
So that's Damon Hughes there. Obviously, the standards for what your team is and what it can be are elevated beyond the max because you're on the route to a three-peat. Look, you can't have this sort of stuff. And I know that the Chiefs held their standards higher than everyone else because that's just what they do. That's who they are. Get used to it. And when you look at Mahomes' numbers, which is insane, the last 5 games, I keep saying it, 11 touchdowns, 2 picks, and 13-28 in yardage, yet he's doing that with a left tackle who is a question mark constantly. What's he going to do? And what Danon says is one of the big things that sticks out from him who sees it from, up high is that there's not a whole lot of there's not a whole lot of hunger there.
Not a lot of want to.
And it's
go back and watch that last play he was in on.
You need Wanye to be, Wante Morris. You need him to show a little bit more fight. And, the text line says, looking at him on the sidelines, because, when you stop doing your job, people start to get a little bit more critical. And when you do things that show them that there's like lack of this, and you're listening to the color commentator of the Chiefs, who's, rah-rah fan, ex-player, everything, and he's saying that because that's what he's seeing, that's another issue where your coaches see that too.
And that's why Danon is a nicer man than I am, because he said that very nicely where I would have go, this guy sucks. And just, again, watch the last play that Wanye Morris was in on. There was zero effort. And that's the point right there. And I know people don't like it when you say there was no effort. I can't believe that was effort given on that last play that he was in the football game.
Yeah, it's tough,
man. And if that was effort given, then he should have been cut.
Cut. Is it on the come time?
On the come.
Always twice.
On the come.
On the come this week for me is Max Guy. NWI, is that his abbreviation?
There it is.
Nick Westbrook-Akine.
Nick Westbrook-Akine.
That guy is an absolute bona fide red area stud, certified G, and you can't teach that. He has 8 touchdowns and 20 catches. I repeat, he has 8 touchdowns and 20 catches. He has more touchdown receptions than Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, and 5 other wide receivers combined. That is absolutely nuts. As
Tyreek Hill just had another baby.
He has 11.
Almost as many touchdowns as Nick Westbrook-Akine has.
That's right.
Vice versa.
Nick Westbrook-Akine is making Will Levis relevant, and Will Levis needs to buy that guy a Rolex watch and a year's supply of mayonnaise. That is my on the come for this week.
That is a nice wide receiver quarterback combination down there right now. It really is.
I mean, you're finding that dude in the red area, and he's
Yeah.
consistently showing you keep going to the well.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the Chiefs had a guy in the red area could just go up there and get 8 touchdowns?
Imagine if they had a left tackle that could give them the opportunity to have somebody in the red zone go up and do that, because they kind of do in DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, he is that guy.
But you don't have any time because the left side of your offensive line has stunk for so long. Who do you have this week?
I'm going to go, I got 2, but I'm going to go Keenan Allen, I think. Keenan Allen, last 2 games, 14 catches, 160 yards, 3 touchdowns. came in the year injured, missed the first few weeks of the season. Obviously, that Bears offense has been putrid, anemic the whole year. But he's kind of revived them a little bit these last 2 weeks and has kind of found a connection with Caleb Williams, who's needed a surefire, hey, I'm their veteran. And he's been that, finally.
For me this week, it's pretty simple. Michael Penix Jr. He's on the come. Get ready, Michael. You're playing. Kirk Cousins tried to give away the season on Sunday. Tried his darndest to give away the season on Sunday. They have given away the season on Sunday. But I think on the come, Michael Penix Jr. is getting that arm warmed up. He's getting that left arm warmed up. He's ready to go. I can't wait to see Michael Penix Jr. play for the Atlanta Falcons. Let's go.
Big Michael Penix guy?
My favorite quarterback coming out of the draft.
He's also like Bo Nix. He's older than you think.
Yeah, he's very old.
He's kind of a statue, though, right? He doesn't really move around very well.
He moves around. He's good mobile, but he's been hurt 3 times.
Yeah.
He's had 3 different leg surgeries.
Yep. It's all out of the way
big
now.
scare. It's all out of the way. All in the past.
Sometimes you just don't question people when they make decisions. Because I remember on draft night when they took Michael Penix Jr. and everybody goes, they have Kirk Cousins. It's like, yeah. Well, when Kirk Cousins blanks the bed in week 13 and you need somebody for a reinforcement, maybe this guy can give you that spark. I don't know.
Well, and I mean, we talked about it in the show. We don't like Quinn Ewers, Shedeur Sanders, we'll see, Cam Ward, in the next year there's just Manning, so maybe they were thinking ahead. Looks like they were.
Absolutely were thinking ahead, and it's a brilliant move.
It was.
I mean, like, in the moment, people react, and they wanted Brock Bowers in Atlanta, I believe, right? Was that the – no, I'm sorry.
They wanted a defensive end.
The Raiders wanted Michael Penix Jr. That's what it was. And so that's why they ended up.
Oh, darn, they got Brock Bowers.
They ended up with Brock.
Shoot.
Had the Falcons not taken Michael Penix Jr., the Raiders were going to take Michael Penix Jr., right? And they wouldn't have had Brock Bowers. He probably would have slipped to the Chiefs. But in all seriousness, like.
That dude's going to be a problem for some years.
Like, guys, for the most part, as GMs in any league, have their jobs for a reason. They know what they're doing. You have to see the future. And I think Mac's point is great. We just talked about there's no quarterbacks for the foreseeable future. You've signed Kirk Cousins to, a 3 or 4 year deal, whatever it was, right? So 3 after this one. You could still trade him, obviously. But you were doing your due diligence and setting up your organization, much like the Chiefs did with Alex Smith. And after watching The Quarterback on Netflix, Kirk Cousins sure seems like a guy that probably would help Michael Penix Jr. along. So you got a veteran leader for him. You've got the young quarterback. You did exactly what the Chiefs did. It's just different players, obviously, and a different head coach. But they're following that roadmap that Kansas City had, yet people want to give them static when nobody gave the Chiefs static for taking Patrick Mahomes when they still had Alex Smith.
That's true. And you know what?
Now, the difference is they went out and signed Kirk Cousins this year.
That's the difference. The timing was a little weird. But, I mean, they're still, like, as much as we've given Kirk Cousins a hard time, and it was a rough week, 4 interceptions.
Sunday was a bad game for Kirk Cousins.
He's still going to throw for over 4,000. Like, that offense is still going to be good. They're going to win 10 or 11 games. So,
would you rather have Kirk Cousins or Jameis Winston?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Kirk Cousins.
Just thought I'd ask. Did you know that there's a sequel coming out to Billy Madison?
What?
Yep. According to TMZ, Britney Spears says she is now 5 years old and attending kindergarten in a new video that she has leaked. What's your talent? Top headline, man. I don't know. Somebody also asked to run Mahomes' stats from last year to this year. I took the 5 games because I've said this 100 times.
I did the whole thing if you want it.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, I want it. Because the 5 games I did the 5 games, week 9 to week 13. This year, 13-28, 11-2, 4-1 record. Last year, 11-41, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 2-3 record. That was last year compared to this year in weeks 9 through 13.
So Mahomes, after 12 weeks in 2023, had thrown for 3,100 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 10 picks. Mahomes, after 12 weeks this year, has thrown for, give me 1 second. 29-79, about 3,000, about 100 yards less, 19 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. So 3 touchdowns less and a pick less.
Okay.
He's about the same.
So about even.
Yeah, about the same.
About the same.
But what's his record compared to last year?
Exactly right.
Well, I mean, last year he just had to overcome wide receivers.
Yeah.
This year he's had to overcome an offensive line, which in my opinion is much tougher to do.
Oh, agreed. Easily.
Much tougher to overcome
They've
Wanye
already
Morris
tied
than
their
it is
season
Kadarius
high in
Toney.
wins last year. They won 11-6 last year.
That's
They
right.
already have 11 wins this year. They're like the Royals. They got guys that can catch the ball this year. The Royals got guys that can throw the ball.
And now it's all going to come together that you fix what needed to be fixed. It's like making a trade deadline and getting Urseg in here, and maybe DJ Humphries can be that closer for us.
And like Josh Briscoe said yesterday, the Chiefs win Sunday 9-7.
That's right.
Coming up on the other side, Bob's got a question for you about a restaurant that you'd want in your house. 913-586-7965. We'll make sense of all of it on the other side on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Fesco and Dusty.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
I'll tell you what, now's the time to get to Foaling because it's cold outside. You want that perfect indoor activity. And with family coming into town for the holidays and the kiddos off of school, you're looking for something to keep everybody active and having the best time of their life. Well, I'm going to tell you what, Foaling is the place to go for you, for your family, for a date night, for a work party, for a charity event, for everything in between. Foaling Warehouse is perfect because it is football plus bowling plus bar, and that's Foaling Warehouse, Kansas City. And they're beginning their second year at 435 in State Line. They have a world-class bar, and Foaling is an activity that everybody is going to love, and everybody can participate in it. It's bowling with a football. You set up the bowling pins like you would for bowling, and you're throwing footballs at them, and you're trying to knock down all those pins. If you throw underhand, you're going to have the best opportunity to win and to beat all of your friends, and everybody's going to love it. As soon as the game's over, re-rack and go again. And with a world-class bar, you can get any cocktail you want at Foaling Warehouse, Kansas City. Plus, with the opportunity to bring your own food, Foaling makes the perfect spot for any kind of party, whether it's a birthday party, a graduation party, a holiday party. Cater it yourself at Foaling Warehouse. Reserve a lane today at FoalingKC.com. That's FoalingKC.com, and get your Foal on.
When Google Fiber first launched 1 gig internet right here in Kansas City, it cost $70. Cut to today. Over 10 years later, 1 gig internet still costs the same, $70. That's what you get with Google Fiber. Fast, reliable internet with simple, straightforward monthly billing. No data caps, no annual contracts, no hidden fees. Just a small local fee for the city on top of your flat, predictable price. Go beyond good enough. Go beyond fiber. Sign up today at fiber.google.com.
Your attention is precious. Pulled in a million directions for a million different reasons. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City works hard to make sure your health insurance isn't one of the many things distracting you from what's important. By making healthcare easier to navigate, we help keep your focus on the moments that matter most. Like dinner with loved ones. Letting you focus on you. That's the benefit of Blue. Learn more at BlueKC.com.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer. Or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Every piece of land has a story. For the Nelsons, it's cruising around their Montana ranch on a John Deere Gator XUV 835R. With 3,000 acres, there's plenty of work to do.
We're not afraid to jump in and help each other out.
That's how they've kept their ranch going for 5 generations.
It's all about efficiency.
Like teaching visitors to fly fish.
The whole joy with fly fishing is matching the hatch.
Run with us on a Gator XUV 835R and start telling your story. Learn more at johndeere.com/radio.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on 2 wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf. Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com and tune into the inaugural season beginning January 7th. Keep up, it's golf.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at tryethos.com. That's tryethos.com.
When I wake up, the best mornings in the morning light start with Wrangler. I pull on my jeans and I feel alright. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Renner Garage Door, your home's garage door source. On the Missouri side, 70 westbound, very heavy heading towards downtown this morning. You're hitting delays around Van Brunt, and it just crawls over past Prospect, where there's an accident blocking 2 left lanes. When the snow and ice hits, make sure your garage door is ready, whether it's a smart LiftMaster opener, service repair, or a brand new garage door. Renner Garage Door has you covered. Locally owned and serving all of KC since 1956. RENNER, forward and back. Rennerdoor.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
I wish it felt like Ocean Avenue at this point in the day, but it doesn't. It feels
is cold.
Don't say that. There's people outside right now working. I had this conversation last night. I was like, sometimes I forget that I work inside, and I'm immediately debunked by the text line.
Oh,
like,
the text line will tell
I
you.
wish it was 60 degrees where I'm at. I'm on. And props to you guys for doing what you do today out there in that cold weather.
Would you rather be out there in the cold or the 117-degree heat, though?
Well, hold on to that because I have a start bench cut coming up here in a little bit. That
right,
has a little bit of
okay.
that.
All right.
Speaking of teasing, friend of the show is back tomorrow.
Yeah, Jay Binkley back tomorrow with college football at 6:45 as we get the final before the championship.
I was gonna say, wait a minute,
rankings.
So there's 2 left,
and there is a lot to talk about in college football. What will happen if Clemson wins, or who will get knocked out, or who's going to win the Big 12? Who's in the Big 12 championship game? Why is the Pac-12 in every championship game? A lot of good questions, a lot of good topics, college football-wise, with Bink. And then I think we'll probably have to throw that quarterback question at Jay Binkley as well to find out, like, hey, man, we're starting to get to nut-cutting time for the draft and, starting to kind of set this thing up. What quarterbacks are out there? And when, and maybe this is, the answer is never. When was the last time a quarterback did not get drafted in the first round?
Oh, golly. Do you know the answer?
No, I don't know the answer. I just thought, because,
tough. I mean, 1978. I don't know.
This is where, Paul Charchian always used to talk fantasy football wise. Like when you start reaching for players, that's when you screw your fantasy team up. That's why when you're an NFL team and you go into a draft and say, we've got needs and we got to fill these needs, and then you're picking somewhere like in the late 20s, early 30s, and you have a need, let's say, offensive tackle, and you're taking like the 6th or 7th best offensive tackle at that point in time instead of taking the best available player. That's when you start to get into trouble. So I think the teams that need the quarterbacks probably should find another route other than the draft this year and go with a veteran guy. Go with a Sam Darnold. Go with a Russell Wilson at this point.
Do you have the answer?
Yeah, are there any guess? Are you guys going to guess?
I'm going to guess 1970-something.
Okay.
It was 1980 something.
1996.
I was going to say 98,
right
actually.
Before, was that right before Manning?
Manning was 98.
97.
No, Manning was 98, right?
His last college season was 97, so I guess he would have gotten drafted in 98.
So
yes.
1996. That's the last time and so from 97 on, how many of those first round quarterbacks are legit? I'm going to say under 50%.
That's I think easy. I'm wondering if it's under a third.
Okay.
Is it 1 in every 3 even that are legit? And I guess that what's legit. But
you know it if you see it, though.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you start reading the names. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Right. You know, like
we should do that
like
someday.
Achilles Smith. No.
Yikes.
Nathan just texted me and said, Bob went nuts at the landing during the draft. Talked about Penix for an hour after the pick. So he's been on the Penix train since day one.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love them. I love watching them. Just like I love watching Bo Nix. I loved watching Michael Penix in college. He was so much fun.
I like
year.
Penix a lot.
ESPN's weekly power rankings came out. The Lions, number 1, Bills, number 2, Chiefs 3, Eagles 4, Steelers 5.
Oh,
How long before the Chiefs are below the Eagles?
Okay, it actually happened in the odds today because the newest round of odds are out to win what you call the Super Bowl this year. Detroit number 1, Buffalo number 2, Kansas City number 3, tied with the Eagles at 5-1.
Keep that energy.
Let's go.
That's that big Penix energy.
You found an article about a couple that did a renovation in their garage.
Yes.
Care to explain?
Yes, they recreated an original Pizza Hut in their garage.
Love that.
Now,
I'd be one fat ass if I had a Pizza Hut in my garage, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Only
Dusty?
in the garage eating pizza. Yeah. Only if they have the original Pizza Hut pizza. Though. Don't give me any of this stuff without the grease. Okay, load me up in the
personal pan.
Yes, give me the grease. Give me all of that. That's what makes the Pizza Hut great. But they recreated an old school Pizza Hut in their garage. Wow. And I'm like, that's like Devontae Adams with the Taco Bell, at his house. So I ask you if you could create any sort of restaurant in your house, fast food wise, which one are you going to do? I'm doing In-N-Out Burger because I love it, and it's not here. Everything else I can find elsewhere. I want to bring something in that isn't in this area, so I'm going with In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out's a good one.
Thank
Dusty,
you.
where are
Never
you at?
had it.
Never.
No, I know. Man, I'm torn because I want to say Chick-fil-A, but then Sundays I'm screwed. Right?
Like, and that's kind of when you want it.
Right?
Yeah.
Every Sunday I tell the kids, we'll go to Chick-fil-A today.
You always want something that you can't have, right? But I think I would say either Culver's,
it's a good one,
or Jersey Mike's. Nothing would make my day more happy than to go downstairs and be like, I'll do a club sub, Mike's way, no onion, add relish, add jalapeno, I ain't done. And just be friends with that guy where I just walk down and be like, the usual, sir? Yes. Because I freaking
just
love
get out of the garage,
Jersey
Dusty?
Mike's. Yes. Your clothes smell like a dead skunk. Just give me the number 8, please. No onion.
Do they have to have anything else, though, on the menu if it's your house and that's all you want?
Yeah, because I might want like a Philly every once in a while. Or the big kahuna.
They have a great Italian, Jersey Mike's.
Yeah.
What are you going with?
I'm a homer, man. You guys are going to laugh. I'm going Winstead's, dude.
Yeah.
I
do
love
that.
Winstead's,
Have
man.
you and your fiance ever done the skyscraper one straw?
We have not yet. But that'll happen. Oh,
one couple, one straw. It's
absolutely.
a great romantic time.
Yes. Vanilla, please. I'm very plain.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I like the vanilla frosty at Wendy's.
Have you had the salted caramel frosty at Wendy's?
Not my jam
yet.
sandwich, dude.
Somebody told me it's really, really good.
I love not your jam. I love salted. I will definitely be trying.
Not
that.
a sweet and salty lad.
Oh yeah,
that's right. Somebody says a Quick Trip.
Oh, that's a good one.
Jack in the Box.
Ugh.
Somebody says Ponderosa. Shout out Blue Springs in the 90s.
Do they still have that Ponderosa
Not
out
Blue
there?
Springs. No, it's a Quick Trip now. It's been a Quick Trip.
There was
for a while.
listener back
40
in
and 7
in the day, like years ago, back in the day, that worked at that Ponderosa that used to invite us out there all the time. I forget what that guy's name was.
Mother Clucker or Five Guys. I'm glad I said that right. Give me a Joe's or a Gates or a Jack Stack. Shout out Dusty. I mean, just give me a barbecue spot.
Yeah,
after having those smokehouse nachos, man, I'll just eat those rest of my
all
life.
day long.
Those are money, dude. And I did the air fryer thing too.
Yeah, I told you, right?
And the jalapenos crisped up.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
The reheating of nachos in the air fryer, especially from smokehouse, takes it to a different level. They're
Somebody
so
said
good.
a high boy in their basement. Good lordy wardy. You never had it?
Have yet to have it. Yeah.
We can hit the garage and go to High Boy sometime. It's on 291 North.
Don't have to ask me twice. I'm there.
Yeah, onion rings, chocolate shake, double cheeseburger. How you doing? And then we'll go for a run.
Exactly.
We'll be dead if we keep doing that in our life. Being from Oregon, I need a Burgerville. Never had it. Unk's Burgers, very good. Right down the street from my house. Met the owner the first time I went in there. Had a 20-minute conversation. Didn't even know the guy. Yeah, it was the owner of Unk's Burger. Unk himself.
Oh, really? You met Unk?
I went in there and I was like, man, this place is great. Never been here before. He's like, sit down, young man. I was like, all right. And he just told me the whole story.
That's cool.
And I just sat there and ate the burger in front of him. Sorry, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat this. He goes, hopefully you do. And let me know what you think of it. Took one bite and it's like, oh, there's onions? No, I'm kidding. I didn't do that. Sonic, White Castle, Waffle House, solid. There's no way this is serious. A Long John Silver's?
Oh, God.
They did put the /A and W, but really a fried fish joint in your garage?
Can you imagine what your house is going to smell like?
I already know what mine smells like, and there's not a Long John Silver's in there.
The grease that would just
I mean, to be
seep into
fair,
the walls.
Yeah, to be fair, a Johnny Ray's in Lee Summit, that's another place we need to hit up.
Okay.
Fantastic tater tots. I'm a tater tot connoisseur.
I love taters.
Do you like the homemade tater tots or the out-of-the-bag tater tots?
I don't care.
Either.
Like,
I'm in.
A ball of fried potato.
Yeah.
It's like what do they call those? The fried mushroom rice balls. I always forget the name of
Oh,
these.
hell.
Right? We talked about these a few weeks ago because you guys showed
Not
me
like
this.
on cherries, but it's something like
Arancinis?
Arancini.
Something like that.
Somebody said the DQ in their basement. Dude, that chicken strip basket from Dairy Queen with the white pepper gravy and the toast.
I would just have the Blizzard
How
machine.
are you not 400 pounds?
I would just have the Blizzard machine from Dairy Queen.
That's great.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
What's your 2-combo Blizzard?
Hey, it's chocolate ice cream and peanut butter cups.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm not
That's
really a
it.
chocolate lord, but man, give me cookie dough and Oreo.
Give me
Combo that.
chocolate and
Yes.
peanut butter together and anything, and I am in. It's like that Officer Reese's commercial.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You put peanut butter in my chocolate. You put chocolate in my peanut butter. I'm Officer Reese's.
Yeah.
That's how the Reese's peanut butter cup was invented.
Dusty, why do you take the onions off your hamburger but eat onion rings? I leave everything on my burger as it comes. If there's an onion on there, we'll play the course.
Yeah, I love pickles. I don't like them on my burger.
I like
That's
turtles.
fine.
Somebody says Jimmy John's just sold for $8 billion.
$8 billion.
I'm aware. Or Jersey Mike's. I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm aware. We'll
And
see
then
what happens.
Subway sold for like $6 billion or something like that.
$1 million.
Does anybody go to Subway anymore?
No.
I feel bad for their franchisees. I read this whole article about what they're doing to these franchisees at Subway, man. Like the $6.99 footlong, they're all losing their ass. That's why the guy closed the Little Caesars in Kansas a few years ago because they wanted him to do this $5 special because I can't make any money off of this. They said, we don't care because I'm out.
Wow.
Blake Schneider said he'd have a Brahms ice cream in his garage, and my dad said he'd have just a little hut that serves Springfield cashew chicken. I don't know if you've ever had Springfield cashew chicken. No. It's fried in a brown sauce with rice. It's amazing. It is good. It is good. I just wish it was in Kansas City. Yeah, there's that 11 o'clock stomach, you growing boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming
I
up
had
on
a
the
friend
other
say, what a
side.
burger. But again, stuff that's not here.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I mean, stuff that I would just, golly, I can feel my arteries clogging right now.
I would have one of those honey butter biscuits from Whataburger, though.
so
Have you had
good.
that? That honey butter chicken biscuit from Whataburger is
Never
a
been to
money
Whataburger.
go-to.
Still waiting for Patrick
Gotta
Mahomes
go.
to show me the menu tour.
And the other one at Whataburger is good. Their breakfast tacos are good.
Have they ever came out with like a what a taco? Can you do that? Would that be infringement? I don't know what that would be. Coming up on the other side, we get a start bench cut here on a Tuesday on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty
What the hell's wrong with your station?
on Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Fellas, it's Dusty Lyans again to remind you it is the holiday season. We can get lost in the motions. We can get lost in the times. Don't let that happen to you. And let me tell you about some things that my friends at Heartland Men's Health can do. It is the holiday season, a time of love, a time for joy. But if you suffer from erectile dysfunction, this season can be tough on you, but not just you, your loved one as well. If you and your partner are experiencing struggles because of ED, change it up this year. Give the best gift you can give to the one you love by treating your ED and restoring your relationship. Heartland Men's Health treatments work when the pills or herbals fail. Their treatments with success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. So schedule a visit. Get with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes a medical consult with licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if the test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. So call them at 844-447-6600 or go visit them. They have 3 locations that can serve you: Overland Park, Kansas; Independence, Missouri, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit; and their new office in North Kansas City. HeartlandMen'sHealth.com.
You're always better with a roof from JR.
We've had more than our fair share of hail and wind this year. Are you playing roofer roulette? That's when you bet your roof and your home on the first random roofer to ring your doorbell. Why do that when JR and Company offers a free hail and wind report online at jrstormcheck.com? Just plug in your address and we'll pull a multi-year storm report. You'll know exactly what your roof has been put through and if you even need an inspection. If you do, no one is more thorough and works better with your insurance than locally owned, veteran-owned JR and Company. And if you need a new roof, remember, a roof from JR comes with a lifetime warranty on workmanship. Don't play roofer roulette with your home. Visit jrstormcheck.com and remember,
You're always better with a roof from JR.
Visit jrstormcheck.com.
This is a special report from the Missouri Lottery. There's still time to get holiday scratchers and draw games for everyone on your shopping list, even if you are the one at the top of said list. Don't worry, we won't tell. The Missouri Lottery. Play responsibly.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we are improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com, and I look forward to working with you.
How do you spot the all-new Nissan Rogue Rock Creek? Here's a hint. It's got all-terrain tires, a tubular roof rack you can't miss, and it's tough inside and out with lava red detailing. You'll also find it in its natural habitat, climbing mountains, attacking rugged trails, and never backing down from any adventure. The first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek.
Intelligent all-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. Always secure cargo. Heavy loading of the vehicle with cargo, especially on the roof, will affect the handling and stability of the vehicle.
Brought to you by Gomers. 5 locations in the KC Metro or online at gomers.com.
Happy holidays from Gomers. Gomers has all the fine wines, spirits, and craft beers you need for the game days and holiday celebrations. Voted KC's #1 liquor store year after year, our mission is excellent price, selection, and service. 5 convenient locations throughout the KC Metro or shop online at gomers.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Heading into downtown, 70 westbound, looking at off again, on again slowdowns from around 23rd Street, and it intensifies from Truman over past Prospect. The earlier accident blocked 2 lanes, but that has cleared and things are recovering. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Coming up here in about 2 minutes, it is Start Bench Cut, but someplace you can go that you would never cut is Johnny's Tavern.
That's right. This football season, the best place to watch the game is at Johnny's Tavern. Now through December 15th at any Johnny's Tavern, scan the QR code to enter for a chance to win a tailgate prize pack and the grand prize of a hosted watch party with a $300 bar tab for you and your friends. Each location will have a winner, so don't miss out. Grab your friends, grab a Yingling, and get in on the action. Only at Johnny's Tavern in partnership with 96.5 The Fan, your home for football fun and Yingling. You must be 21 to enter.
You guys had mentioned, before we get into Start Bench Cut, the power rankings that we came out with on ESPN's Week 14 power rankings. I just decided to go to DraftKings and see what the future holds. The future. as people are trying to take their jobs from the Kansas City Chiefs being the favorites. Here are your top 5 favorites for the Super Bowl odds as of December 3rd, 2024. The Lions hold the lead at plus 290. Philadelphia plus 475. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills plus 500. And the Ravens rounding out the top 5 at plus 1,200.
That's interesting how those odds are different from the ones we talked about in the last segment from like Bovada,
right?
Where they have the Lions at plus 280, Buffalo number 2 at plus 475, Chiefs and Eagles at 5-1, and then Baltimore at 10-1.
That's why it's important to go to the sites that you like the most with the odds that they present. Start bench cut.
Here's Fesco, Dusty, and Mac with this week's edition of Start Bench Cut.
We like to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of seriousness, and a little bit of sports all in there. If he's serious, he is. Right? Start bench cut. Let's get tough right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Start bench cut. Hank Stram, Marty Schottenheimer, Andy Reid.
All brought to you by Jay Southland Tow, and this is the easiest one of the bunch. Start Andy, bench Hank, and cut Marty.
Agree?
Easy.
Very easy. Marty is, after talking to people years later, boy, you realize how he screwed up those games in the postseason. I mean, guys are not shy anymore to say, yeah, Marty really screwed this thing up. And so, yeah, Marty, he's cut.
All right.
Some guy in Zubas is not happy with us right now.
Nah. Or he's really happy because he's like, man, if we had either one of those guys in the 90s, we would have 2 other Super Bowls that we never knew about.
I tell you
97, you should have won a Super Bowl.
The stories that I've heard about the way he changed the game plan a day before the game, the quarterback situation, like every year that they lost in the playoffs, people are like, yeah, Marty was doing this and doing that and the other thing. And, you know, I mean, he rebounded, him and Carl rebounded the franchise to a really good franchise, but they didn't get you over the hump. But they're still 2 very important figures in this franchise's history. And maybe without them, this team is relocated at some point. But this to me, is very easy. See you, Marty.
The next one comes. It's sports figures as well. Travis Kelce, Rob Gronkowski, Tony Gonzalez. Start, bench, cut.
Starting Tony G, benching Kelce, getting rid of Gronk.
Starting Tony G?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Still the best tight end of all time.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
he set the bar. He's a Hall of Famer. I mean, yeah, I think he's the only Hall of Famer on that list as of right now, right?
Well, he's the only one eligible.
Yeah,
all 3. But
yeah, but all 3 will be in. But no, I'm definitely starting Tony Gonzalez, benching Kelce, and getting rid of Gronk.
Start Kelce, bench Gronk, cut Tony G.
Absolutely, yep. And that's the order, I think, all time that they'll go down in as well.
I think that's recency bias. I think people forget how good Tony Gonzalez really was.
That's fair.
The next one is food-based because I think we all might have had some of this during Thanksgiving. Broccoli, asparagus, Brussels sprouts.
How are we?
Pasta?
Yeah, I eat some pasta.
How are we cooking the Brussels
Chicken,
sprouts?
steak, all the regular stuff.
Yeah, all
No
the regular.
seafood, though?
Nah, I'm allergic.
How are we cooking the Brussels sprouts?
Semantics, I guess.
No,
They're kind of surprised for
I'm just saying, I think that, however, you could roast them or you could grill them, however you like your Brussels sprouts.
Okay, however you like them. Then I'm going to go asparagus, Brussels sprouts, see you, broccoli.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll give you that one.
Allergic.
I'm allergic.
all
No
the regular.
seafood, though?
Nah, I'm allergic.
I'll go.
I don't care how Brussels sprouts are cooked. I'll eat them anyway.
Yeah, I like them too.
Just boiled in water? No, you won't.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
I'm going to bench them, though. Asparagus, I'll start. Broccoli cut. I love asparagus.
I do too.
It is.
Love it
good.
on the grill.
Anyway is great.
Yes, anyway's great.
It really is. Where does he say this?
I eat like string beans and green peas. But
They're
that's
kind of
it.
do they have to for be some cooked in reason. bacon grease? Do they have to be cooked in bacon grease?
No. That ain't like that.
Pasta?
Still can't find it. Great radio. I would start broccoli, bench Brussels sprouts, cut asparagus. Makes my pee stink too much.
Love the fact that it makes the pee stink. Then I
Why
don't
is
flush.
that?
Why do you love it?
Because it
And
makes
then
my
don't
wife
flush?
mad. She's like, hey.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it makes you feel like you're healthy, too. You're peeing out vitamins.
Well, why is she smelling your pee?
Because I told you I leave it in the toilet when it smells.
Oh.
Yeah, he lets it stew.
If it's mellow, let it yellow.
If it's brown, flush it down.
No.
Save water, dude.
Yeah, what are you talking about, man?
No.
Every time I drink coffee, it smells like I just brewed out the whole bathroom.
Sometimes my pee smells like Cheerios.
Okay. Start, bench, cut. Smoked, grilled, or roasted?
I'm going to start grilled, bench, smoked, cut, roasted, I think.
I think I'm there with you. I might be underselling roasted though.
Yeah, I think it's an undersell a little bit.
Yeah.
But how often are you roasting?
I know that's the thing. It just doesn't happen enough.
Turkey, salmon, pork.
What's the difference between roasting and baking?
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm asking too.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like roast, just oven based. I guess
Oven based. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still that's still. Yeah, I'm still cutting
smoked number 1, grilled number 2, roasted oven baked cut.
I think I'm gonna bench roast. I'm cutting smoked. I'm changing it.
Okay.
But then there's no smoked turkey. So actually, no, never mind. And gun. Yeah, never mind.
The one that came up this weekend, which was the holidays of favorites. Start, bench, cut. Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July. I think I know where we go with this.
I'm starting Thanksgiving. I'm benching 4th of July, and I'm cutting Christmas.
And I'm the Grinch. This guy's had his Christmas tree up since Halloween.
Yeah.
But get rid of it.
But you know what? If I didn't have kids,
yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, that's
fair. I listen to the Christmas music. I really enjoy it.
that?
I enjoy the holiday spirit in the season. But I mean, Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday. 4th of July is the summer. And Christmas is,
I think I start Christmas, bench 4th of July, and cut Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Because, I mean, I like the food better on the 4th of July than Thanksgiving.
Hot dogs and burgers over
brats, burgers,
and you don't,
hot
you don't
dogs.
overindulge on butter.
No, I'm indulging on Miller High Lifes and Michelob Ultras.
Yeah, and you're endowed to. You're almost
Now,
supposed to.
if you would have said Christmas Eve, I may think differently on that. Christmas Day is always just
Christmas Eve like a prime rib night for you guys.
No, it's just a prime party night. You know,
okay.
It used to be, back in, I guess
Back
up to
in
last
my
year.
day.
But no, I always liked the Christmas Eve parties. It was always, and then you wake up on Christmas morning, and then it's over by 10 a.m., and then your mother makes you put on your church clothes and go to her friend's mother's house, and you sit around this room and eat cake off the back of a toilet. So, no, I'm out.
Is it necessary? Is it necessary for me to drink my own urine? No, but I do it anyway because it's sterile and I like the taste.
Apparently, camel urine, according to Ben Maller's caller, cures everything.
Okay. Start, bench, cut. Fly, teleport, read minds.
Just in that order. I don't want to read somebody's mind.
What's that Mel Gibson
Yeah,
movie?
Eternal
What
Sunshine.
Women Want?
What women want. Yeah.
I'm staring at his crotch. Oh my
yeah,
God, I
that's a
did it again.
Yeah, I don't want that.
That's
Yeah.
a great movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna start teleport. I think benching my mind reading. I'm still gonna keep it
But
there.
I mean, could you imagine being in the garage for like 30 minutes and then just be like, all right, I'm gonna take off on a fly.
That's so true.
I'd love to be able to fly anywhere. You don't have to deal with the
I'm
airport.
learning to fly, but I ain't got wings.
Or teleport. You just go everywhere you want. You read somebody's mind, and then
It's true. My anxiety wouldn't be good for that.
He thinks I look ugly today. Oh no. Start, bench,
how do
cut.
I look? You look great.
Oh, it's have you seen the movie The Invention of Lying with Ricky Gervais?
Yeah.
It'll make you cry laughter.
Yeah.
We have to have sex right now or the world is going to end. Well, what are you waiting for? Let's go. Last one. Start, bench, cut. Freezing cold, extreme heat, windy and rainy.
Probably going to start the cold, bench the heat, get rid of the rain.
The wind and the rain just sucks.
Awful.
Yeah.
Ruins everything.
Ruins.
Which one did you start? The heat?
The cold.
He started the freezing
I'm the same.
cold.
I'm the same. Can always put more layers on, man.
Start the extreme heat, bench the freezing cold, get wind and rain. Out of here,
I mean,
mister.
the extreme heat for me was done after Billy Joel last year at Arrowhead. That was as miserable an event as I've ever been to.
I went to a Kenny Chesney concert in August on a gummy, and I don't even know if I sweat or if I thought I was sweating. That's how powerful the moment was. He started singing When the Sun Goes Down, and I was like, the sun's going down? They're like, it's dark, Dusty. I was like, is Little Big Town coming out? They already did an hour ago.
Happened.
Fair enough. He's the headliner. So is Bob Fesco. Mac Morey and I are just we're the setup guys. Coming up on the other side, we'll get back into what Damon Hughes had to say on the importance of moving forward at left tackle. You're listening to Fesco and Dusty and Mac on 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram @TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
I'll tell you what, the NBA season is moving right along, and you can get in on the action with FanDuel and make your first NBA bet a swish with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from who will win the game to how many points a player will score. Plus, check out newer bets like the number of dunks, assists, or three-pointers in the next 3 minutes. It doesn't matter if you tap into FanDuel before the game starts or after it's already tipped off, you can pick up a W whenever, and now's the perfect time to get in on the action. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/610Bob for your chance to score $150 in bonus bets. Have a ball betting ball with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA and of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help's your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
MD Anderson Cancer Center is again ranked #1 in the nation for cancer care by U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals rankings. Our physicians treat more types of cancers in a day than many see in their whole career. This unmatched depth of expertise, combined with our groundbreaking discoveries, gives our patients access to the most innovative treatment options. Learn more at mdanderson.org.
Hey, it's Cody and Gold, and for those of you who've been listening to the show for a while, you know all about our friends over at Centric and how you can find a brand new career in as little as 4 months. But did you also know that you can work with your current schedule with some of their flex options for learning online or in person?
Maybe you're just getting out of high school and want to start that career now and that career path now, or you're looking for that change with better advancement, better pay. Centric can do those things for you.
They have plenty of funding options like the GI Bill. You just got to go talk to our friend Russ at Centric.com. That's CENTRIQ.com.
At House of Diamonds, 100% of the custom jewelry we sell is designed, cast, and finished from scratch just for you right here in our Overland Park shop. Don't settle for fake custom. Get real custom at House of Diamonds on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
Football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown, and he throws a block, and his teammate scores instead. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
It takes a lot to prepare for game day as a dedicated fan, and preparing the perfect tailgate meal might be most important of all. That's why Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise is the MVP. Hellmann's Mayonnaise is the secret to bring out the rich and creamy taste to all your game day dishes, from buffalo chicken dip to your favorite sub sandwich and everything in between. So give it a try, and mayo game day be delicious with Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise. Shop at your local Walmart, Kroger, or grocery store and add some extra deliciousness to your game day dishes this football season.
Hey guys, it's Jim Costa from Cash the Ticket. If you're planning on betting college football bowl games, good luck. No, seriously, it's never been harder. And you don't want to be hurting your bankroll. You want to make sure you're doing your homework. Listen to Cash the Ticket. Mike Valeni and I will be breaking down every single bowl game, dropping new episodes nearly every day throughout college football's postseason. Spicing things up with a 12-team playoff. Can't wait to see some of those teams from the South come up north for the snow. Be sure to subscribe to Cash the Ticket on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Today, expect sunny skies with a high of 38.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples store has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Right back here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Your home for Bob, Mac, and Dusty, Rob, and Carrington, and Alex and Drew from 10 to 2. And then the Young Bucks. That's not an AEW reference. That is a Mac and Drew reference. You guys are what, Wednesday, Thursday this week?
Yep, 7 to 9, Wednesday and Thursday.
Band's back together. Someone said on the text line from the 816, I cannot participate in this because I am not a credible source. Your review of the Chiefs Hallmark movie worth watching?
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about it yesterday ad nauseum, but yeah, it's no, I mean we did. Like,
for sure.
Yeah, yesterday was the day we talked all about it. So yeah, absolutely, go watch it. You'll get all the feels, man. Like I was thinking again about it yesterday. There's a book called Chicken Soup of the Sports Fan's Soul, and back in the late '90s, early 2000s, they had all these chicken soup books, right? And there's one story in there called The Season Ticket, and it's about this. It's about the Giant fans and a kid growing up and his dad and having this love of the Giants, and that was like me and my dad growing up and always wanted to go to a game. And I remember going to my first game and how powerful that was, and being with your dad and being at those games and how important they were. And that's the same feeling that I walked away with from the Hallmark movie with the Chiefs. You develop this sense of community and friendship. And I think if you're a football fan, you're a sports fan, you probably had some of the moments that they talked about in there, and it features our town in a great light. So yeah, go watch it.
Somebody from the 816 says, I hate Hallmark movies, but this one was great. I cried.
Yeah.
Did you watch it, Mac, yet?
I've not watched
He's
it.
over there nodding his head like, totally
Oh,
good.
well, I know I will.
I'm a tearjerker,
I know
though.
myself. Yeah, I'm pretty easy to get in a crying
Like, I
movie
cried
like
in
that.
Simon Birch at age 8, so I mean, I can only imagine.
Was that the guy got stung by the bees?
Nope, that's My Girl, and that was Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
Simon Birch is.
What else was Simon in?
He's in America's Got Talent, American Idol.
American Idol.
He's also a board game, I guess you would consider Simon a board game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yep.
Did you ever play that game?
Mac has no idea what Simon is.
What was it? Red, blue, green, yellow? You had to go in like your head with it, be like red, blue, green. Okay, D.
Yeah. That's why we were much smarter back then. We had to remember things like that.
Okay.
Red, blue, green.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
Really worked out well. We're all here in the same room.
That's exactly right. Mac never played Simon. That's why he's on the other side.
It was such a fun, addicting game, though. I don't know where we get off on this tangent, but either way.
You were talking, the
yeah,
Hallmark
Simon
movie
Birch.
and Simon Birch or something. Yeah, it is a tearjerker, man, because you're feeling all the emotions of, of family, sports, football. Like, it's got everything.
I did see the McCall Hardman scene. He's with Gracie Hunt, and he has a pretty good line. He delivers his line pretty well.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, Trey Smith was really good, too. Yeah.
And they said, everybody, that what I gathered is that Donna Kelsey stole the show. I don't know how. I don't know why. That's just what I heard.
Believe that at all to be the case.
I don't know.
Two
That's
different
just-
lines. I mean, it was a funny line, but it was. I mean,
But
like
people remembered it, I guess.
I guess because they were talking about dating. She goes, "Believe me, I know." And, like that's not stealing the show. It was a nice one-liner, but
Okay.
yeah, I don't know that if you want to say anybody stole the show, Matt McMullen of Chiefs.com,
yeah,
he
he said that
stole the
yesterday.
show. He had the best line of the whole thing.
That's
Hey
right.
Trey, come sign the card.
And that's all he says?
Yeah.
Huh. That's cool.
Trey was great too. Andy was good at it. It was fun. I don't think anybody quote unquote stole the show.
Do you think Donna Kelsey drinks cocktails?
I have no idea.
I'd like to have a dirty martini with her and ask her what it was like raising those kids when they turned like 15 and 17. Because like I know how my dad felt when my body started to like grow. He's like, I just can't feed this kid. Could you imagine having like Travis and Jason Kelsey in like their teenage years? Like, good Lord.
Yeah. I'm living with teenagers right now, so I know what it's like. And they're girls,
yeah,
you know.
true. That's true.
There's never enough food in the house. There's always food.
We don't
it's never
have
any
food.
good. I mean, there's a whole refrigerator. There's a whole pantry.
Right.
I don't really eat vegetables like that.
What? So you eat like pizza?
Yeah, and like I just started eating asparagus.
Did you tell them there's asparagus in the house?
They like asparagus.
Asparagus.
Do you think, do they eat leftovers? Like, is leftovers a challenge? Because like for my sister, it was a challenge growing up, but for me, I was
Life's
just a
challenge.
I was just a garbage
challenge.
gun. I'm
No
like,
matter
"Oh,
what you
look."
tell them, it's wrong.
There's still chili in the fridge. That's 5 days old, Dusty. There's no mold on it. I'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Does it smell? No.
No. Oof. The country crock gamble was always the thing in our house. Like every time, like we had leftovers, fajitas, chili, tacos. It was either is it butter or is it leftover food, and that was a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what you just said, dude.
I don't know what I said either.
Sound like Don Vito.
You got me down this path now of the children, and I don't want that. What do you
cut
want?
that?
What do you want?
Isn't it funny how like this happens a lot? What I notice in like relationships or like whatever it might be in families. Hey, what do you guys want for dinner?
You never ask the question. You just make it now. That's the thing.
Then all of a sudden you're like, all right, I'm going to go to Taco Bell and get something to eat. Okay, I'll take the chalupa meal with a side of a Mexican pizza and a Baja Blast. If you knew what you wanted, why didn't you just say so?
You never ask. You just make, and this is what we're serving. And if you don't like it, fend for yourself.
Well, I only cussed once as a kid in front of my parents until my dad made tuna helper. I walked in and I said, what is that blank smell?
Yeah.
Nothing that you're eating tonight now. Have fun in your room the rest of the evening. It's like, thank God.
Did you ever have to sit at the table and finish all your food?
No, none of that.
Kids were starving, so we had to sit there and finish all of our food.
I was a millennial, so I got the, you need to eat 3 more bites. That was what I got. It wasn't finish your food. It was like, you need to eat 3 more bites of your chicken.
And now children today that are like, the next generation is mommy feeding them as adults.
Oh. Well, now you can just eat applesauce out of a tube. This was Dan Hughes on Wanye's lack of fight, is what he noticed being up in the booth calling games for the Chiefs.
I think if you're looking at Wanye Morris specifically, like for me, when I'm watching it from the booth, I'm like, I just want to see like a fight. Like I, at this point, like the technique and your drop and your kick step and which hand you punch with, all of that is great, and technique is real. But at the same time, like I just like, when are you gonna fight? Like when are we gonna just see like my technique is gonna go out the window? I'm just gonna like, you want to brawl with me, I want to brawl with you. You feel like this is a free pass to get your sack numbers up, and I got to do something about it. And I think that's where the frustration lied, is because you didn't see that fight. You didn't see somebody battling through adversity in the way that you need them to be if you're going to be a championship football team.
And I think it's interesting because we also asked Dan Hughes about, does in-house competition work? And I've always been a big advocate of that, because you look at, off-season moves, right? You look at, let's take Denver for an example, right? They brought in Zach Wilson, not the most dangerous person to be, on your trail of a quarterback. But maybe with that happening, maybe that gave Bo Nix a little kick.
He was out there,
right? Maybe that gave Bo Nix a little kick in the ass to be like, okay, well, I don't want to lose a job to this guy who's already had a chance. I want to prove my chance. And Bo Nix has been exceptionally well as a rookie in the league. Fair point. Wanye Morris, being the starting left tackle for most of the season, now has a guy coming in who's coming off an ACL injury who's going to take his job because he hasn't been good enough. And Dan Hughes referenced somebody that got drafted the same year he did. He thought he was healthy enough to play. Marty Schottenheimer said, why don't you take the day off, kid? And Dan Hughes didn't like it, and he said it made him better. You also mentioned Derek Johnson.
Derek Johnson was in that camp. You may remember back in 2009, I think it was the last game of the season up in Denver, and Derek Johnson was benched. He was relegated to the second team. And, like, what the hell is going on? Why is Derek Johnson being benched? Well, he wasn't doing what they wanted him to do. And while at the time he didn't like it, DJ will tell you, he'll look back at it, it was the best thing to happen to him, turned him into a better football player. And, that's just one example of using a negative for a positive and learning from a negative and not having everything just come so easy to you. Sometimes you do need to face adversity in life. And a lot of times as professional athletes, they've never faced adversity because they've just been better than everybody else. And now they get to the pros and they're learning how to deal with adversity for the first time. How are they going to fight through this? How are they going to change their game? Because clearly the league has figured out Wanye Morris. It's not a secret anymore how to get past Wanye Morris. And so if he wants to play that position next year and earn that spot back, because this year's done, and he may not ever earn that back if Patrick Mahomes can't trust him, He's got to get better. He's got to change his game. He's got to adjust. It's like a baseball player. Come up for the first week of the season. They're raking. Oh, my God, where's this guy been? And then week 2 starts, and you're 0 for 40 because you're not willing to adjust and make those changes when the league is adjusted to you. So it's a good learning experience for Wanye Morris. Will he use it as a good learning experience? Hell if I know.
I didn't know we were going to have a Michael Garcia reference there. Remember, he hit like 2 home runs in the first week of the season.
Yeah.
All of a sudden
I was thinking more
like,
Moose and, a lot of these guys over the years, they come out, oh, well, look how great this guy is.
C.J. Stroud.
Yeah,
Right? C.J. Stroud set the world on fire as a rookie. This year it's been a little bit different because video is out. People know your weaknesses, and they exploit those.
I mean, think about Mahomes, though. Everybody said, the league's going to figure him out. They haven't. It's been 8 years.
If they do, it's like 2 or 3 weeks. Like when they did the 2 high against Mahomes, it's like, all right, you just can't have your favorite play. You got to do something different.
Fine.
2 to 3 weeks, he adjusted, and all of a sudden he's got 2 offenses mastered. So good luck.
I mean, like if Patrick Mahomes can readjust his game and figure things out, so can Wanye Morris.
I would hope.
And so can anybody, for that matter. And look, Josh Allen's done it. I mean, you want to talk about Mahomes reinventing his game. Josh Allen essentially had his number 1 wide receiver traded away this offseason, right? Whether he's a good person or not, right? Yeah, right. And they got better. And they got better. And I hate to use the term
maybe
cancer.
not the offense in total, but the player.
Yeah, they're better. They're better as a team. They're better as an overall team when you remove a distraction from your locker room. Since Tyreek Hill has left, the Chiefs have won 2 Super Bowls, and he's wearing Chiefs sweatpants in a picture with his baby.
That's right. Speaking of distractions, sometimes they can be good because somebody coming into this locker room is DJ Humphries, who is a left tackle for help is on the way. These are what Damon Hughes thinks will be his expectations.
I think what we can expect, I don't know, conventionally thinking, not overly thinking it, but someone that's serviceable. I feel like in this day and age, you're not having full-speed practices. Obviously, there's no 2-a-days. There's no live periods like there were back in the days. So you're going to get a guy that, for the most part, his live action is going to come in the game. As much as they practice, as much as he may have some individual time, you may have a practice squad guy here or there, give him some live reps during practice. But for the most part, his live reps on a consistent basis will come on the field. And to expect him to be Willie Roaf, no, that's not going to happen. But at the same time, can he be better than what we've had? I'm sure of that.
So how good do you think DJ Humphries needs to be? Significantly better than Wanye Morris and Samatia, or a little bit better?
I think is what Danny used the term serviceable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't have high expectations for a guy who hasn't played a year, right? But I can have expectations better than what we've been seeing, and effort better than what we've been seeing.
Because he mentions fight and attitude and stuff like
right.
that. Not seeing it.
I mean, again, I'm glad I was sitting in that pickup line yesterday and saw the Baldy thing and kept watching that video over and over again because I really saw, like, guy didn't give an effort on that last play. And Patrick Mahomes has got the backs of his teammates, man. Like, there's not a better leader out there. And when he breaks, you know it's over. And he broke last year with Kadarius. And he broke this year with Wanye Morris. Those guys, sorry.
And the thing that's interesting is that when he broke with Kadarius Toney, we didn't see Kadarius Toney again. Do you think we still see Wanye Morris?
Well, I mean, if somebody gets hurt.
If.
Yeah. No, I don't. I think Wanye Morris's days are done this year in Kansas City.
So he'll be like a healthy and active.
I would imagine. I would think so.
I think that's why the Chiefs should still considering signing Donovan Smith to give them depth. That way, if something were to happen to DJ Humphries, there is another plan that is not Wanye Morris.
But do you want another gentleman that hasn't played all year, too?
Well, then you go back to the question, is he better than what you currently have?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big sign offensive lineman off the street because most of these guys just sit around and eat, Doritos and things like that, play video games. I know.
Yeah.
At this point in time, you're taking a chance, but having another guy that hasn't played all year, I don't know. I'm not big on it.
I think anything would be better than why he's been an embarrassment to the position. So
yeah, he's been bad. I mean, but I don't know, man. Like I 1 fine, 2.
So you guys talked about it earlier.
And they've had all year to sign Donovan Smith and chose not to, and then chose DJ Humphries over Donovan Smith
and over Bakhtiari, who was another name that was floating around. But I think that was just like one of those. I think that name was just one of those, it's the most household name that people know.
It's clicks.
So it's like, what about Bakhtiari? It's like, well, what about him? You know, I don't know. Like, I
He's played one game and
could chug a beer better than most people on the face of the earth, minus Jay Binkley, who joins us tomorrow.
That's right.
So 6:45 college football takes coming up at then. Mac, how do you think? How good does DJ Humphries need to be?
I mean, yeah, if he's, I mean, Dana mentioned if he's just serviceable, this team the ceiling will, like as MJ stated, the ceiling is through the roof, man.
Yeah.
Once DJ Humphries is here and just being serviceable. And I believe that he will start out being fine and average, and he'll have some bumps in the road, and it's been a while coming off the ACL. But come January, like as Bob has mentioned, come when it matters, come nut cutting time, DJ Humphries will be back to an above average left tackle, if not even being, top 12, top 10 at that position. And all of a sudden, Hollywood Brown's back. All of a sudden, Pacheco's back, ripping off 10, 15, 20-yard runs. DeAndre Hopkins is playing over 70% of the snaps. This offense has the potential, and I believe that they will be the best offense in football. And that starts completely with DJ Humphries just being an average guy, because I believe Mahomes, there's no one better at evading sacks and creating time behind the line of scrimmage than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I think, like, if you're thinking about, like, what expectation should you have on Sunday night when you sit down to watch this game, like, you could be looking at DJ Humphries. Yes. I hope you don't know who DJ Humphries is after this game.
Yeah.
That means he did a good job. Like, they'll talk about him at the beginning, obviously, and Collinsworth with his bruised hands, whatever happened to those things. They'll talk about, him at the beginning of the game. Did you see the hands the other night? Like,
was concerning.
He might have hit it on a doorknob.
I mean, gosh, you
Both of
get
them in
that
the
thinner
same
skin, though. Like, it's tough, man. When you're in your 60s, you start to get like that a
You
little
bruise
bit,
and
right?
you take a lot of Advil.
You do. They'll talk about him at the beginning, and that's the last time I want to hear about him. Like, I'm not going to have, like, these expectations of where he's going to have a perfect game. I think that's impossible to ask for a guy who hasn't played in a year and hasn't seen live game speed in a year.
This is a funny meme as we move on from the Wanya Morris talk. A wife sent her husband a text, and it said, "Don't forget, tonight is your daughter's first dance recital." He sent back a picture of Justin Tucker kicking a field goal. She responded with, "What does that mean?" He responded quickly with, "I'm going to miss it."
That's funny.
I mean,
don't miss your kid's dance recital, man.
No. I will say, though, man, if that man misses one more big field goal, I got a good feeling John Harbaugh is going to tell him to take C.
How do you not? How do you look 52 other players in the face and say, you guys are playing great? This guy's still going to be here, though, even though he's cost us probably 3 games.
I get it. Like, his legendary status is there. He's a Hall of Famer, I would assume.
He's like a Mount Rushmore of kickers.
He may be the greatest of all time.
Maybe the best.
Yeah.
But, man.
But you know what? Even Babe Ruth had a day in the sun where it was time to move on, right?
Oof. He's the equivalent of when Peyton Manning could no longer throw it 20 yards. Remember
rough.
that?
That was rough.
We were watching preseason Peyton Manning last season. You're like, oh, they're just hiding things. And then the regular season started. You're like, that's Peyton Manning.
And they eventually benched Peyton.
Yeah.
They did.
Chiefs broke him.
Yeah, for Brock Osweiler, right?
That was it.
He finished the season, then they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because he had Von Miller.
That team won the Super Bowl, and people are doubting the 11-1 Chiefs, right?
Exactly.
I mean, it's crazy.
And Peyton Manning couldn't throw it 30 yards, 20 yards.
This tweet Missouri basketball just sent out is a picture of a gentleman, a player, I guess, number 17, Brown is his last name, and they're promoting the game, and it says Mizzou Hoops, out to prove it just means more, #MIZ. That's it? They didn't win a conference game at all last year.
They were the worst team in college basketball.
Speaking of
They play
college
Kansas
basketball,
this weekend.
Who does?
Mizzou KU.
Mizzou KU this weekend.
Saturday.
All right.
Yep,
Cool.
Saturday. Also, Wednesday night, you think Binkley's more excited to talk college football or the college basketball slate that we have for Wednesday night?
Come on now.
I know. But we do have a dynamite college basketball slate for Wednesday.
Wednesday's got a lot of games going on. Yeah, Kansas and Creighton. Then you got Kansas and Missouri. Is that one at Allen?
And the way that they logged it is perfect.
Yeah.
It's like every 5 minutes you can start to change a channel until 8:30.
Yeah, it's good. Like they got a good Wednesday slate of college basketball. Man.
They get it right, man. They know their position. They know that you can't compete with the NFL. Well, guess what night the NFL doesn't play? Wednesday. Guess what night you can load your teams up on college basketball?
Makes
Wednesday.
sense.
Yeah, Wednesday you get Syracuse, Tennessee. That's a good game, whether Syracuse is ranked or not. But you get Is it? Yeah, Wednesday. No, that's tonight.
That's
Sorry,
tonight.
that's tonight. Wednesday, you get Kansas, Creighton, Baylor, UConn, Alabama, North Carolina, Marquette, Iowa State, Auburn, Duke, Pittsburgh, Mississippi State, USC, Oregon. I will not make the USC Oregon game. As the next morning, we'll have Ben Maller bright and early to join our show here on Fesco and Dusty. Coming up on the other side, we wrap this show up and get you set up for the rest of the week because it is officially Chadge's week here in Kansas City. Bob Fesco, Mac Morey, Dusty Lyans. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City sports.
Fesco and Dusty. Subscribe and watch the show on YouTube by going to our channel at The Fan 965. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Smokehouse Barbecue are going to make your holidays great this year because they've got so many opportunities for you to have catering. You've got Christmas, you've got Christmas Eve, you got New Year's, you got New Year's Eve, all these big events. You're going to have people partying at your house. You want to have it catered by Smokehouse Barbecue. Let them take care of everything, and you don't have to worry about a thing. Just having your party and having everybody over to enjoy the burnt ends, the baby back ribs. Maybe you want to do some pulled pork, or their pulled chicken is fantastic as well. Had the new pulled chicken sandwich with some coleslaw on top the other day at Smokehouse Barbecue. It was fantastic. Or maybe you want to have chili at your next event. Let Smokehouse Barbecue cater their chili. Starts with their burnt ends, chopped up, their crispy meat with some hot barbecue sauce and other ingredients, and it is a chili you are going to love. And you may even want to eat it during the summertime, but it is prime chili season right now at Smokehouse Barbecue. And also try their new wings, the Sweet Zing. It is a sweet flavor with a kick. In fact, get those when you order the Smokehouse Game Day Special. A pound of burnt ends, a pound of wings, a slab of baby back ribs, a quart of beans, paperware, and serving utensils for $6 for just $79.95 every single game day. So check out Smokehouse at one of their 3 locations, Independence, Gladstone, and Zona Rosa, or at smokehousebbq.com. That's smokehousebbq.com. For over 35 years, locally owned and family operated, it's Smokehouse Barbecue.
I recently had the opportunity to go down to Max Motors and find out firsthand how easy car buying can be. No, it doesn't have to result in a terrible headache and a stressful situation. That's because at Max Motors, they're upfront. They offer competitive pricing that eliminates the need for the haggling and therefore eliminates the stress that's accompanied by that. You think about the total cost of ownership when you're owning a vehicle. They're going to lay it all out there for you, not just focusing on the monthly payment, but truly walk you through what the car insurance could look like, what maintenance might be like on a used vehicle versus a new vehicle. That's exactly what they did for me as well. And they have the best financing options available at Max Motors, plus the Max trade-in in values in the Midwest. And right now, the largest heavy-duty sale of the year is going on. Every new 2024 Ram 2500 in stock is 20% off MSRP. And new 2024 Ram 1500s up to $18,000 off MSRP. Stock number 90052. See dealer for details. Max Motors, the easiest place to buy a car. MaxMotors.com.
Hey, folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today?
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf. Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com and tune into the inaugural season beginning January 7th. Keep up, it's golf.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan.
It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE-certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's football season, and now you can get anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. You can't get a running back, but baby back ribs? Yes. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
I'll tell you what, my friends over at Golden Oak Lending have helped my wife and I out over the last couple of years with refinancing our home, and it has been an unbelievable process for us. The thing that I love most about Golden Oak Lending is that once you call Golden Oak Lending and take that free mortgage checkup, you become part of their family, and they're going to make sure that they get you the best rates possible. And that means maybe not the first time you talk to Golden Oak Lending, but a couple of months down the line. They're always going to be looking for the best rate for you. That's why it's so important to take their free mortgage checkup, because now at the end of the year, you're going to have bills come due, right? Those holiday bills, maybe some travel bills. Wouldn't you love to go 2 months without having to make a mortgage payment? Well, if you refinance with Golden Oak Lending, you could do that. Just call them today and take their free mortgage checkup. It is risk-free. There's no paperwork or credit card required. Just call them and have a conversation. Tell them about your financial goals. Tell them where you want to go in life and how you want to get there, and they'll come up with a plan that works for you. And if they can't come up with a plan that's better than what you currently have, they're not going to put you in a mortgage that doesn't work for you and isn't better than what you're currently paying. So call them today and have that free mortgage checkup. The average cash-out customer saves $1,104 per month. You'll never pay for that appraisal up front either. Just call 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD, and let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single-line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Breaking news, Matt says if radio never works out, he's going to go be a yell leader for the Texas A&M squad.
Gig him.
No, you don't.
I don't understand that whole thing. That's like a fake army. It's like getting together with your buddies and putting on like ice cream man outfits and going out there.
It's fake.
It is. It is. They're not military.
You know
Core?
who's-
That is not fake.
It's definitely
No,
real.
they're real people, but it's nothing. They're not real.
It was cute. They wore overalls this week.
Yeah. I mean, they're
just
yell
to get
leaders.
just to get beat by Texas. We don't like the orange. Hey, yeah.
It's odd, man. It's very odd. Speaking of odd,
I know I'm better than this. I know. I'm just praying for the Lord to deliver me from pick sixes. Like that's not me.
That's not me.
Yeah. Well, it was.
Phenomenal game, offense, do some great things, but I messed it up.
This is why all year I was just begging for the Browns to play Jameis Winston. Because you literally do not know what you are going to get with Jameis Winston, but we got entertaining football last night because of it.
You're right about that, and that's why I would never want him to be the quarterback of my team, because you don't know what you're going to get for Jameis Winston.
Yeah, you talk about anxiety.
Yeah, I mean he at best is probably like a 500 quarterback. He shows you those signs where he can be really, really good, and then he shows you those signs of being really, really bad, and that's the difference between being an effective player in professional sports and not. He had those 2 pick sixes last night, right? And
Would they lose by 9?
Yeah, right. He got 9 points, gave up 14. He is now in a 5-way tie for 33rd in NFL history with the most pick sixes. Do you know how many pick sixes this guy has in his career?
31.
14. 14 pick sixes in his career. He's tied with Mark Brunell, Joey Harrington, Matt Schaub, and Joe Flacco.
Joey Harrington. He played for like 3 years.
That's exactly right.
That's brutal.
Right.
Shout out Oregon.
That was, that
was the dog days of Detroit, man.
Yeah, Joey Harrington was the quarterback. Carl Peterson told me one time that his biggest regret was not drafting Joey Harrington.
And that's why I'm glad we have Brett Veach.
But, I mean, at that time with Dick Vermeil and company, like Al Saunders, like the young quarterback, who knows what, like Detroit never, who was the coach in Detroit at the time? I mean, So was Joey Harrington bad, or was he just in a bad situation?
I knew that guy was a fraud from when he was in Oregon.
Why?
He just didn't look like the part. He had a good system in college. It's happened all the time. It happened with Cliff Kingsbury. That's why everybody was so down on Mahomes. Like, oh, Big 12 quarterbacks don't work.
But isn't that what you're supposed to do? Put your quarterback in a good system to give them the opportunity to succeed?
If that system doesn't work in the NFL, he's multiple years behind.
Well, but that was also before the NFL was willing to adjust, which is why Andy Reid, again, we talk about coach of the year stuff, coach of the decade, coach of the century, coach of all time.
Oh, yeah.
He's changed who he is as a coach to adapt to his players. And most coaches in the NFL aren't doing that. But Andy Reid looked around on the landscape and goes, why are we making these guys who played 4 years in college come to the NFL and change what they've done? I'm just going to change and adjust to them. That way we have a head start on things. And then, lo and behold, everybody's using the pistol formation right now. So Andy Reid is still always ahead of everything. And so Joey Harrington failed. Yeah, he played for Detroit. They failed at life up until recently. And so if you were a smart coach back in the day, you're drafting this guy, adjust to him, make him have success. Not enough teams do that.
Some news out of baseball, former Royal and half the MLB, friend alert, left-handed reliever Aroldis Chapman and the Boston Red Sox are in agreement to a 1-year, $10.75 million contract pending a physical.
Well, that takes him out of the Soto sweepstakes.
Yeah, he's 36, and he's going to make $10 million as Boston's left-handed bullpen help. They get Aroldis Chapman.
He was on Boston, I should say, was the last place team last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are they going to try to do the same?
The Blue Jays?
I think it ended up being Boston. Okay. Are they going to try to do the same thing that the Royals did with Aroldis Chapman, get him for half a year and flip him and get somebody good back in return? Because that would be the smart move if you're the Red Sox.
Maybe JJ's greatest move he's ever had.
Or you could look at that and say maybe Juan Soto wanted Aroldis Chapman, and that's the first step to the Red Sox signing him. What's Heyman saying? Has he got Arson Judge signing anywhere yet?
He's just still talking about Magma. Or is that the other guy?
No, that was Boris.
That was Boris. Horace and Boris.
Are they still trying to float Toronto out there as a landing spot for Juan Soto to try to get the Yankees to up their bid? If I'm Toronto, I'm telling Boris, enough. You've used us as like bait for the last couple of years. Stop doing that.
Yeah, they were talking about unloading all their talent already.
Yeah.
Like, they were talking about like getting rid of Guerrero last year. He was a name that was like apparently linked to the Royals. Like, would you give Vladimir?
He was?
Guerrero? Yeah, they wanted. He was the top. Like, it was like the top 8 landing spots for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Last year. The Royals were on that list. Again, could be bait, could be stuff like that. But
I mean, anything you hear from like Heyman and Nightingale is coming directly from Scott Boras, and so take it for what it's worth. And every year now, there's a plane that's taking a superstar to Toronto, and that plane never takes off.
I feel like it would be fun to play in Toronto, though. Maybe. I mean, your stats go way up through the roof. Look at Jose Bautista. That guy became like a overnight celebrity and all-star because of that joke of a ballpark.
Let's see your talent.
Chargers week starts tomorrow, as we always do the weekly opponent on Wednesdays. What's your biggest concern with the Chargers game going into this week?
Well, it's still left tackle.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still left. I mean, we're playing a guy who hasn't
not
played
worried
a year.
about Justin Herbert. Not worried about because they're not going to be without. They're going to be without J.K. Dobbins, which that's a big miss.
It's a big miss for them, but
didn't do anything last time they played.
I don't tend to focus on the other team as much as I do on our team.
Okay.
Like what's going to concern me? The left tackle spot.
Any concern with the secondary?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Mac, you got a concern going
it would be the secondary.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what? If Chris Jones plays big like he did last week and they're getting to the quarterback, secondary's not as much a concern as it has been over the last couple of weeks. Got to get to that quarterback, man. Especially Herbert.
Mm-hmm.
My counter to that would be that he does not need time for Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey's a route runner. He's an intermediate and short guy, and I hope we have Trent McDuffie in the slot because that's what he's best at, and that's what Ladd McConkey that's where he will be. Let Nazi deal with Quentin Johnston and his drops and Josh Palmer. And
boy, Quentin Johnson drops everything, man. He should never stack eggs.
You ever dropped eggs in a grocery store? Embarrassing.
Yes.
Super
embarrassing.
I did it one time.
Do you clean up your own mess or do you leave it there for somebody else?
I did it literally like 6 months ago, and some lady behind me goes, "Oh, no, they're breaking." And she was like 80, and I was like, "Yes, I'm quite aware of that." She goes, "It's going everywhere." And I was like, "Ma'am, please step back." And then like the guy came out and he goes, "Oh, it's okay. It happens all the time. She goes, "Oh." I'm like
it really doesn't concern you.
I know.
Betty.
I was so annoyed. I
Take a seat.
I bit my lip till it bled. I was like, oh, I want to say so many things right now, but I'm a nice guy, and I always tell people to do nice things. She's like, it's going. Keep going.
Yeah, keep moving down the aisle, Millie. Let's
Come on,
go.
Pauline. We get it. Golly. Plus, there's always those people who have to open every crate of eggs.
Well, you have to make sure to check. You don't have to want to have a broken one.
Mariucci was the head coach for Detroit with Harrington.
He stunk. He was not a good head coach.
He wasn't Sam Fran.
Well, he also had Steve Young.
And Jeff Garcia.
Who was pretty good.
And Terrell Owens.
Yeah,
and
right.
Garrison Hurst.
Right. Yeah.
Had a pretty solid roster.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, and then got to Detroit. And this guy's not a coach. He's got one story about Andy Reid that he tells every week.
Oh, God.
We were in underwear. We had steaks, and Andy Reid had 2. You got anything new? That was from the 80s.
I remember 2 years ago in St. Joe, there was a, storm cloud moving in.
Every morning in St. Joe.
And Mariucci's doing his show for NFL Network, and their producer's over here talking to me. He goes, man, where you from? I was like, Lee Summit, and I'm about to be there in about 35 minutes, and it's an hour and 25 minutes away. He goes, how come? I said, you see that in the eastern side of the sky? He goes, oh, no. And Steve Mariucci turned around and goes, I think it might rain soon. I said, it looks like Independence Day. What's he think's going to happen?
These storms in St. Joe every morning, man. It's just different. It really is.
They do hit different. All right, tomorrow we dive into these Chargers. Go, Chargers, go. That was the Arnold Schwarzenegger cut from a while ago, but the same cut you get at the end of every show is to go do something nice for somebody. You never know. It could change their day, week, month, or year. It is simply cool to care. Kansas City. Please stay kind and please stay safe. Coming up next, it's Alex and Drew from 10 to 2. Vinny Pasquantino joins the show as their insider. Talk to you tomorrow.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty.
I just want to say how awesome it is to have Bob Fesco and Legend Lyans on every morning to start my day. I freaking love you guys.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan.